Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with Cry, Baby, Cry. This is the day of the Easter parade, and there's a cheerful feeling in the air. Perky new hats, gay flowers, everything reflects the spirit of carefree spring. It's a day of color, and if you serve Jell-O for your Easter dessert, you were right in the spirit of things. For a shimmering mold of bright, clear Jell-O is mighty gay and cheerful. The glowing reds of strawberry, raspberry, or cherry Jell-O, shiny orange, golden lemon, or sea green lime, you have a regular rainbow to choose from. And no matter which flavor you select, you're sure of a masterpiece. For Jell-O tastes as good as it looks. It's crammed with delicious, extra-rich fruit flavor, the flavor from fresh, ripe fruit. It's put there by a special process. It's sealed right in so it can't get out. It's caught and held for you to enjoy the minute you taste a shimmering spoonful. A delight to the eye and a thrill to the taste. That's Jell-O. But be absolutely sure you do get genuine Jell-O with that extra-rich fruit flavor. Look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. That was Cry, Baby, Cry, played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a man who is celebrating Easter with a new suit, new shirt, new tie, and new shoes that squeak, Jack Benny.
That's good. Hello again. This is Jack Benny, who was also looking for a new announcer. And listen, Don, it was nice of you to mention my Easter outfit, but it so happens that my shoes do not squeak. They might chirp a little because they're happy. But they do not squeak.
Why, Jack, I heard you when you came into the studio. You sounded like a rusty beer sign in the wind.
Now, Don, every new shoe has a little something to say, but I repeat, mine do not squeak.
All right, then, just walk around the microphone and see what happens.
Okay, Smarty.
Well, what do you think of your shoes now?
Well, naturally, they're a little nervous. It's the first time they've ever been on the air. But say, Don, you're kind of dolled up for Easter yourself. That's a nice-looking suit you're wearing.
Well, thanks, Jack. I just bought it last week.
It's very snappy. Where'd you get it?
Well, Hart Schaffner and Marks made the pants.
Hart Schaffner and Marks. I knew it wasn't a one-man job. Did they make the coat, too?
Well, Jack, they put in a bid on it, but I finally awarded the contract to the Tri-State Construction Company.
Oh, yes, they also did the Boulder Dam. Something big. Say, Don, come here a minute. Look at Phil standing over there. Isn't it disgraceful the way he comes dressed on a holiday?
Well, it isn't very good taste.
Come here, Phil. What is it, Jack? You want to know a funny thing? Here I bother to get all dressed up for Easter with a new suit and shoes and spend hours fixing myself up. And you come to the studio with slacks, an old sport coat, and no necktie.
Yeah, and you want to know another funny thing?
What?
I still look better than you do.
You do not. And I'll leave it to anyone here. In fact, I'll leave it to the boys in your band. Which of us is dressed better for Easter?
What do they know? They tried to buy firecrackers today.
Well, that's a nice organization you've got. Don't tell me they all thought today was the 4th of July.
No, the drummer held out for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh. Yes, I see the shamrock on the cymbal. Well, Phil, your boys might be mixed up about holidays, but when it comes to music, they're mixed up. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Happy Easter.
Thanks. Same to you, kid.
Gee, you look so cute in the Easter parade this morning, all dressed up in your new spring suit.
Oh, I wasn't out there to show off or anything. I like to walk down the boulevard on Easter. Everybody does.
So you were in the parade this morning, huh, Jack?
I certainly was.
You should have seen him, fella, strutting along with a cane on his hand and a flower in his lapel, and he was wearing the swellest derby hat.
Oh, Mary.
Way down over his ears.
Well, it was a little too big. I bought it before I got my hair cut like a darn fool.
And you should have seen that funny double-breasted suit he was wearing.
Well, what was wrong with it? That coat fit me like a dummy in a window.
Well, you should have stayed there.
Well, after all, Mary, I don't have to spend a fortune for a little Easter outfit.
You're right, Jack.
Yeah.
Tell him what happened on the boulevard this morning.
Never mind that.
What was it, Mary?
Well, Jack was strutting along in his new suit, proud as a peacock.
I was just walking.
Go ahead, Mary.
Well...
Oh, you're silly.
Well, he was walking along, and all of a sudden, a man behind him sneezed.
He sneezed, eh? And then what happened?
Jack's coat shrunk 4 inches.
Oh, well.
Is that right, Jack?
Yeah, before I could say Gesundheit, I was nearly strangled. Anyway, what if it did shrink a little? Who cares?
Oh, Jack.
Oh, hello, Kenny.
Come here a minute, will you?
What is it?
Well, come over here. It's important.
I can imagine. Okay. Oh, darn these shoes. Huh?
Hey, what's that noise?
A squeak at Oxford.
All right, now what is it, Kenny?
Well, I did something last week, and I don't know whether I ought to tell you.
Well, you called me over here, didn't you?
Well, if I tell you, will you promise you won't fire me for it?
Yes, I promise. What did you do?
Well, I listened to Fred Allen Wednesday night.
Oh, you mean the guy that wears flour sack scandies? Well, Kenny, I don't care who you listen to.
I heard Fred Allen, too, Jack, and the way he ran you down, you ought to do something about it.
Well, I'll admit he is a bit of a nuisance, but what can I do?
Why don't you have him bumped off?
Bumped off?
You know, take him for a drive.
Drive? You mean ride. Take him for a drive.
Well, you ought to do something about it. Alan keeps saying you're cheap all the time.
Oh, he does, eh? Well, he's got a lot of nerve to talk about me. Any man that'll open a can of sardines, eat them, and then save the tails for hash, well... Glad I didn't blow that line, too. Don't tell me about that guy.
Yeah, and another thing. He said your toupee didn't fit.
Now, that's a big lie because I don't even wear one. Mary, look at the top of my head. What do you see there?
A parking lot.
Well, let's forget my head and Alan and everything else. Go ahead and sing your song, Kenny.
Okay.
Oh, Jack, wait a minute. I just thought of something awful.
What's that?
Here it is, Easter, and I forgot to write a poem.
Well, Mary, what will people think? Now, you go ahead and write one while Kenny sings, and work hard on it.
Oh, her and her old poems.
Oh, yeah, you and your old songs.
Well, my songs are better than your poems.
Now, children! Sing, Kenny. Oh, me and my new shoes. I'm sorry I tore off that guarantee.
There's a song in the air, but the fair senorita doesn't seem to care for the song in the air. So I'll sing to the mule if you're sure she won't think that I am just a fool serenading a mule. She listens carefully to each little tune I play. La bella senorita, she'd love to sing it too if only she knew the way. There's a light in her eye, though she may try to hide it, she cannot deny there's a light in her eye. Oh, the charm of her smile, so beguiled Don Diego that he rode a mile for the charm of her smile. Amigo mio, is she listening to my song? La bella senorita, she'd love to sing it too if only she knew the way. But try as she may, in her voice there's a flaw, and all that the lady can say is Chiquita, you're the one for me.
Donkey Serenade from the Firefly, sung by Kenny Baker. Donkey Serenade. It's kind of a silly title, isn't it, Kenny?
Silly?
Sure. After all, who would serenade a donkey?
A jackass, Jack.
Well, hey, that's right, come to think of it. Hey, Mary, are you coming along with your poem?
I need one more verse. I'll be through in a minute.
Well, hurry it up. We haven't got anything to do here.
Oh, we haven't, eh? Well, ladies and gentlemen, while you're waiting for Miss Livingston's poem, why don't you skip out in your kitchen and prepare a dish of Jell-O? It's tempting, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors.
I'm all finished, Don.
Well, I'm not. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Look for the big red letters on the box.
Oh, happy Easter, happy Easter. You are
Well,
with
wait
us.
a minute, Mary. Wait a minute. Take it easy. Now, what's the name of your poem?
Easter Greetings by Mary O. Livingston.
Now, what's the O for?
Oh, happy Easter, happy Easter. You are with us once again. With your Easter eggs so tempting, summer candy, summer hens.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Boys and girls all dressed up pretty, parade the streets in every city, and all show off their Easter stuff, even though it's on the cusp.
Now, that's a little too personal, I think, Mary.
I like to smell your Easter lilies. Your hot cross buns I love to tackle.
Oh.
Your rabbits all lay eggs, they say. But, gee, I never heard one cackle.
Tackle. Now, that's just loony.
Say, Jack, did Longfellow work with a stooge?
No.
Then keep still. Last verse.
That's good.
So I salute you, happy Easter, with one hip-hip and 2 hurrahs. Until you come next year to greet us, I say farewell. The end. Applause.
You got a nice hand there, Mary, but you asked for it. Do you think that's ethical?
No, but it's yours.
Oh, well, you got something there. There's nothing like going after it yourself.
Say, Jack.
Yes, Phil?
What are we stalling for? When are we going to do something interesting?
Well, Phil, we're doing the best we can. If it's dull here, why don't you pick up your orchestra and go home?
That's what I say.
Thanks, Kenny, and mind your own business. He always comes to at the wrong time.
What I meant, Jack, are we going to do a play tonight?
No, Phil, we don't have to do a play every Sunday night. What is it, the stock company?
No, but I just thought we ought to.
Well, putting on a play week after week is no picnic, you know.
But people seem to like them.
Yes, but gee whiz, do you think it's easy? Do you think it's necessary?
It's none of my business.
I'm talking to Phil. Kenneth. Anyway, fellas, I'll tell you what I've planned to do, and it's a surprise. We're going to cut the program short tonight, and I'm going to treat you all to the Al.G. Barnes Sells Floto Circus. Now, what do you think of that? Yes, sir. Now, remember, fellas, it's my treat. A man gave me 5 passes for tonight's show.
Passes? How'd you get them?
Well, I've got a friend with the circus, and besides, I let him put posters up all over my new house. You know? I won't be moving in for quite a while, you know.
Say, Jack, I happened to drive by your new house last night. Coming along fine, isn't it?
Yeah, and you notice all those circus posters with lions and snakes and zebras all over them?
Yes, sir. I threw my jug right out the window.
Oh, you did, huh? Well, tonight you're invited to see the real thing. We'll have a lot of fun, too.
I'm terribly sorry, Jack. I'd love to go, but I got a blind date tonight.
Oh, you and your blind dates. Well, I guess you're stuck, Phil. How about going now, fellas? We'll just about make it.
Oh, sir, I think you better hurry.
Wait a minute. Come in. Well.
Hiya, Buck.
Well, hello, Andy. Say, you're just in time. We're all going to the circus, and I got a pass for you, too. You want to come along?
Sure, Buck. I got an aunt with that show. She's the bearded lady.
Your aunt? How did she happen to become a bearded lady?
Oh, she just got tired of shaving one day.
Oh, well, come on, let's go. Oh, by the way, Andy, I meant to ask you, did your pa buy that airplane you were telling me about?
Oh, sure. He's been flying around in it all week.
Already? Say, he's learning fast, isn't he?
Yeah, too fast. Yesterday he was practicing a loop-the-loop and he fell out.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, lucky thing he had on a parachute.
Well, I'll say it was lucky.
Too bad he forgot to open it.
What? My goodness, he fell right down to the ground, eh? Gee, he must have hit it pretty hard.
I'll say he did. He swallowed his chewing tobacco.
Well, I'm glad it was nothing more serious.
Come on, Jack, let's go.
All right, wait, let's see if I've got the passes. Yeah, we're all set. Come on, fellas. Hey, Phil, take care of the show from now on.
Okay. Well, fellas, let's play the next number and go home.
What'll we play?
Oh, anything. Squeaky shoes won't know the difference. You ready, boys? Wait a minute, hold everything. Come in.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Have you got a blind date tonight?
Yes, I have.
Well, don't keep Mama out late. Goodbye.
All right, boys. Play slow. I'm in no hurry.
There's a big crowd, so everybody stick close to me.
We've got a little time to kill before the big show goes on.
Well, what do we do first?
I want to see the elephant.
I want to get my girl's name tattooed on my chest.
What's her name, Kenny?
Genevieve Karstenborgen Pepper.
You better get another girl or a bigger chest. It's a fine name.
Where's the fat lady? I'd like to see her.
She'd like to see you, too. Hey, she'd go for you.
Oh, Jack.
What?
Look at the India rubber man over there.
Oh, yes. Hey, that is the India rubber man.
He must have a cold.
A cold? Why?
He just tied his nose in a knot.
Say, I must try that sometime. It'll save handkerchiefs.
Hey, fella, get a load of the wild man of Borneo.
Look at him there in that cage.
He's a tough-looking mug. Let's go over and talk to him.
Goo, 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 goo. Gow!
Oh, boy, he is ferocious. Hello, wild man. Tell me, what makes you so wild?
It's town hall tonight.
Oh. Very well, I can understand that.
Balloons. Get them out there blowing up. Balloons.
Oh, Jack, buy me a balloon.
Yeah, I want one, too. That pretty pink one.
Say, that is pretty. Do you want a balloon, Kenny?
Nah, that's for children. I want a Tom Collins.
Kenny, you don't even know what a Tom Collins is.
I do, too. It's a hard-boiled lemonade.
All right, stop showing off.
Oh, Mr. Benny?
Why, Rochester.
I thought you was at NBC Broadcasting.
Yeah, and I thought you were home where you should be, working.
Well, here we are at the circus.
Well, now that you're here, you can stay, but don't let it happen again.
Yes, sir. Say, boss,
Well?
are you in the mood for a little conference in the field of finance?
Oh, so you're broke again, eh? What happened to that $5 I gave you last night?
The what?
I gave you $5 last night. Now, what did you do with it?
I sent that out to fight the recession.
tell me the truth, Rochester. What did you do with that money?
I went to the barber shop.
Now, that's ridiculous. How could you spend $5 in a barber shop?
The barber threw a 7.
Well, here's $1. That's all you're going to get. Now, run along.
Thanks, boy. Here I come, Josephine.
That boy can't hold on to a dime.
See, I'm hungry. I'm going over to get a hot dog.
Yeah, me too.
I could go for one myself.
Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here. Get them while they're red hot.
Hey, I thought you were selling balloons.
Will you taste the hot dogs?
Oh, I see. Well, we don't want any.
Hey, Jack, look. They're lining up the freaks for the sideshow.
Right this way, ladies and gentlemen. Our sideshow's about to begin. We have with us the greatest and most stupendous aggregation of freaks and curiosities this world has ever seen.
Come on, fellas. Let's get a load of this.
And now, right over here on my right, we have Elmer, the living skeleton. Why, this man is so thin we can't weigh him. He's blowing off the scale.
A living skeleton. I'll bet he weighs 150 pounds.
Go on, your shoes squeak.
How does he know?
Now, over here on my left, we have Mademoiselle Lulu, the greatest snake charmer that ever made a cobra say uncle.
Well, hello, Lulu.
Hello, Andy.
Why, Andy, do you know the snake charmer?
Sure, I used to know her when she played with worms.
Oh, way back when, eh?
And right over here, we have one of the greatest novelties on the face of the globe. Sailor Smith, the tattooed man. Pictures from head to toe.
Tattooed man. Why, there's hardly a mark on his body.
We sent him to the laundry and shut up.
Shut up yourself, you old windbag.
And right over here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new attraction. The man with the pin head.
Where?
I'm looking at you.
Oh.
Why don't you keep quiet, Jack?
The nerve of that guy saying I had a head like a pin.
Yeah, how could he tell with your hat on?
Wise guy.
And now, folks, last but not least, for the real sensation of the evening, we have with us none other than that famous Oriental dancer, Princess Zaza, direct from Cairo, Egypt. Start she dance there. She shakes and she quivers.
Oh, boy, that's my dish.
Kenny.
Right inside, folks. Princess Zaza goes on immediately.
Come on, fellas, let's go in.
Yeah.
See you later, you little cut-up.
Wait a minute, Jack. We haven't time to go in here. The big show starts right away.
Yeah, we got to go over there, darn it.
Have you got your passes, Jack?
Here they are. I've got to exchange them at the box office. Well, here we are, fellas.
Yes, sir. How many?
I'd like to exchange these for tickets. I've got 5 passes. Here you are.
Listen, buddy, these passes are good, all right, but not for tonight. These are for the matinee.
Matinee. The man that gave them to me said they were for tonight.
I can't help what he said. These are for the matinee.
Matinee or no matinee? It's a fine howdy. I'm going right home and rip those posters off my house.
Go ahead. We're leaving town tonight anyway.
Well, this is the dirtiest trick that I've ever...
Move along, buddy. We're holding up the line there.
Well, I've never heard of such a rotten thing in all my life.
Oh, Jack, why haggle about it? Why don't you buy tickets?
Sure, Buck, a couple of dollars won't break
Now,
you.
listen, fellas, it's not the money, it's the principle of the thing.
Oh, come on, Jack. Come on. If you feel that way about it, I'll buy the ticket.
Oh, no, Don. You can take us out to supper later. But we're going to get into this circus for nothing. Now, follow me.
Hey, the main entrance is over that way.
I know what I'm doing. They're not going to put anything over on me. Come on around to the back. Now, quiet, everybody. I'll show those guys. Now, look nonchalant, fellas.
I know what's coming.
Now, wait. Here's a good place. Lift the tent, Kenny. We'll all crawl under.
Oh, gee whiz.
Jack, we don't want to do anything.
Oh, don't be afraid. Now, come on. Now, listen, fellas. Mary, Kenny, and I will go in first. And, Don, you and Andy can watch until I give you the signal to come in. Now, come on. Follow me under the tent. Woo! Kenny, don't push. Now, quiet, everybody.
Gee, this is like going to the circus with Harry Lauder.
All right, here we are, up on your feet. Well, here we are on the inside. What's wrong with this?
Hey, Jack, look at these bars over here. What are they for?
That's a cage, Kenny. There are lions on the other side.
Oh, yeah? Turn around, Jack.
Oh, for goodness sake! Oh, Kenny, wait for me! Jack, go away! Calling Frank Box!
something different, something swell to eat. And here it is, and you'll all want to try it. It's called Golden Apricot Pie, the most unusual dessert you've served in a long time. Made with delicious orange Jell-O combined with apricots, and it's easy to make, and here's what you do. First, dissolve 1 package of orange Jell-O in hot water and chill until thickened. Then combine half a pound of cooked dried apricots with a 1/4 cup of sugar. Fold the apricots into the thickened Jell-O and turn into a cold baked pie shell. Chill until firm, cover with whipped cream, and give your family a grand new treat. For golden apricot pie is really swell. Fragrant, fruit-rich orange Jell-O molded with apricots under a blanket of fluffy whipped cream. A beautiful combination to look at, a delicious one to taste. Just be sure to make your apricot pie with genuine Jell-O, for only Jell-O brings you Jell-O's extra rich fruit flavor. So try this delicious new pie for dessert. Order Jell-O from your grocer tomorrow.
Number of the 29th program of the new Jell-O series. I'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Well, folks, I'm all out of breath, but I got away from that lion. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce that next Sunday night we are going to present the highlight of our entire season. We are going to offer our version of Walt Disney's greatest film success, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So be sure and listen in.
Say, Jack, have you seen the picture yet?
No, Mary, but I'm going to see it tonight. I've got passes. Do you want to come along?
No, I'm not going to sneak under the Carthay Circle.
Good night, folks.
Here's an important announcement. Starting this week, Robert L. Ripley's Believe It or Not program will be heard Tuesday night instead of Saturday over most of these same stations. Be sure to see your local newspaper for the new time. Daylight savings begins in some parts of the country next Sunday. This will bring a change in time for the Jell-O program on some of these stations. Consult your local newspaper for schedule of your station. Kenny Baker appears on the Jell-O program through courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, if you've noticed that family favorites like Pabst-Stet, the delicious golden cheese food, are sometimes missing from your dealer's shelves, remember there's a very good reason. Literally millions of pounds of dairy foods are being shipped abroad to help supply energy and the important milk nutrients our fighting men need. But dealers will usually have Pabst-Stet in stock. And smart homemakers have learned what a wonderful extender it is for a host of wartime foods. Melted into a smooth cheese sauce, the grand cheddar cheese flavor of Pabst-Stet gives real personality to leftovers of meat and fish and vegetables fixed in dozens of different ways. Pabst-Stet is a tasty filling for the children's sandwiches, too, and it slices perfectly for serving with dessert or just by itself. Yes, for a delicious, nourishing, and economical help in preparing meals that'll give family appetites a real lift, ask your dealer for Pabst-Stet in the round, flat package. Spelled P-A-B-S-T-E-T-T. Pabst-Stet. Only 3 red ration points for a generous package. Well, it's Easter weekend, and Saturday afternoon finds Gildersleeve out in the side lot surveying his victory garden and wondering whether to pull the weeds now or let them grow a little bigger so they'll be easier to get hold of. It looks as if they grow a little bigger, for from the window of the kitchen nearby comes the smell of good things in the oven. Let's follow him in and see what's cooking.
Fee-fi-fo-fum. I smell something good. What's Bertie making there, Marjorie?
Frosting for the Easter cake.
Frosting?
Yes, sir, and I guess it's about done.
Bertie,
What is it, Mr. Gildersleeve?
you aren't going to put that delicious egg beater in the sink.
Oh, no, sir. I'm saving it for Leroy.
Leroy can lick the bowl. Give it here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Mort, you're looking cross-eyed.
I don't want to miss any of it.
Kitchen doors.
I'll go, Bertie.
Well, wipe off your chin.
Gildersleeve?
Yes?
Express. Sign here.
Wait a minute. What is it?
Crate. Sign here.
I didn't order any crate.
Name Gildersleeve?
Yes?
Sign here.
Yes. Well, hold the egg beater. And hold it, too. I don't know what I'm signing this for. There.
All right. One side, Bud.
Wait a minute.
One side.
We don't want that great big thing here in the kitchen.
Well, where do you want it? Make up your mind. I haven't got all day.
Listen, I've got a good mind to report you to your superior.
Brother, in 2 hours, I report to my draft board. Now, where do you want it?
All right. Set it right down here. So, sir, any place.
Hey!
Careful. Don't you know we got a cake in the oven? Oh. That's the kind of service you get these days.
What do you suppose is in the crate, Uncle Mort?
I don't know, but we'll soon find out. Bertie, do you know where the hammer is?
Right there in the vegetable bin, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, just the place for it, too. Well, let's see now.
Careful, Uncle Mort. It might be something breakable.
Maybe I can pry the top up.
Hey, Uncle, that's the expressman.
Uh-huh.
And now it's coming.
Uncle, wait a minute.
There.
Look out!
Oh, my goodness, rabbit.
Rabbits! Leroy! Here, rabbit! Here, rabbit! Oh, my goodness.
Oh, now we'll never get them. They're under the refrigerator.
Maybe if we had some food, we could get them to come out.
Yeah, try some Popsies. Rabbits don't eat Popsies.
I don't know, my dear. Popsies always tasted like rabbit food to me.
Well, I could poke under there with a broom, maybe.
Oh, no, you might hurt them. Those are very valuable rabbits. They cost me over $2.
Remind me to ask you, Leroy, where you got the $2. Here, Bunny, here, Bunny, here, Bunny, here, Bunny.
No, you'll never get them that way, Unc. You have to get down on your hands and knees.
And they can just stay under there.
Oh, Unc, we've got to get them out. They might get stuck under there. Those are Flemish giants. They grow fast.
Yes. All right. It'll teach them a lesson, then.
Oh, there he goes.
I got him. I got one, Unc.
Oh, look. Isn't he darling?
Bring him over here, Leroy. Let me see.
Oh, he's frightened. Look, he's shivering. Let me hold him, Leroy.
No, let me hold him.
Sure, Unc. Here. Don't let him get away. That's a valuable rabbit.
Oh, isn't he cunning? Feel him, Marjorie. Feel how soft he is.
Ah.
There, little bunny. Now, don't you be frightened. Look, Marjorie, look how he wrinkles up his little nose. Woody.
Uncle Mort, you're doing it, too.
I can't help it. He's making faces at me, the little rat.
You like him, Unc?
Oh, he's as cute as the dickens, Leroy. How did you get him?
Well, from an ad in Wonder Man Comics. I sent for them. Only $2.17 express prepaid.
Where did you get the $2.17?
Oh, I got it. It's a great investment, Unc. It says in the ad. Boys, make big money raising rabbits.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't count on it, my boy. As pets, rabbits may be fine, but...
Who said anything about pets? I'm raising these rabbits to eat.
To eat?
Eat a little fuzzy, cunning, helpless little thing like that? Leroy, I think you're horrible.
Marjorie, take this rabbit and put him somewhere. I want to get to the bottom of this.
I got the other one, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, give him to Marjorie, Bertie.
There, now, Flopsy and Mopsy. Come on, we'll find a nice, safe, warm place for you, away from that awful Leroy.
Yes. Now, young man, why was I not consulted before you bought those rabbits?
Well, I wanted to surprise you, Unc, for Easter.
You surprised me, all right. Where'd you get the money?
All of it?
Of course. All of it.
Well, the 17 cents I had.
All right, but what about the $2?
Well, you know those old, rusty, no-good old roller skates I got Christmas before last?
They were very excellent skates when I gave them to you.
I thought Santa Claus gave them to me.
We won't argue about that, young man.
All right. Anyway, they were always getting in your way, and anyway, I outgrew them, and anyway, one wheel was busted, so I traded them with Piggy.
Did you tell him the wheel was busted, broken?
Well, he doesn't need all the wheels. He just wants to make a pushmobile.
Nevertheless, that was not a very honest thing to do, Leroy, was it?
Well, he swapped it for a spark coil that wouldn't spark.
I'm glad to hear you didn't get the best of it. Now, stop beating around the bush and tell me, where did you get those $2?
Well, you know the spark coil.
You just told me about it. It wouldn't spark.
Yeah, so I traded it.
Who'd you trade it to?
Michael.
Mrs. Ransom's little niece? I mean nephew?
Well, he wanted it, Unc. He kept pestering me for it.
Did you tell him it wouldn't work? Did you?
Well, gosh, Unc, you wouldn't want me to give him a spark coil that works. They're dangerous. He might get a shock.
He might get it. All right, you charlatan. What did you trade the spark coil for? Come on, what did you trade it for?
$2.
That's what we call selling, Leroy, not trading. And you sold that spark coil under false pretenses with deliberate intent to defraud.
Oh, no, I didn't, Unc, honest.
Then what was your intention?
To get the $2.
Leroy, I honestly believe you don't know the simple difference between right and wrong.
Yeah, that's all it is, Unc. I don't know any better. Gosh, if I knew
That's
any better...
enough, Leroy. Go help Marjorie find a place for those rabbits. And see that it's not in my study. I'll take this thing up with you later.
Yeah, sure, I will. I'll find a good place for them.
Bertie, I don't know what I'm going to do about that boy. I swear I don't.
Oh, now, Leroy ain't a bad boy, Mr. Gildersleeve. He's just a boy, that's all.
Well, he needs something. I don't know what, though.
Well, if you ask me, Mr. Gildersleeve, what Leroy needs is a mother.
Yes, I'm afraid you're right, Bertie. There's not much I can do about that.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you're young, Mr. Gildersleeve. You got your health. You even got a fiancée. And if you don't mind me asking, what are you waiting for?
By George, Bertie, that's what I'm going to ask her. And I'm going to ask her right now, too. The Easter Bunny.
I'll be right down. Don't go away, you hear?
I shouldn't have said that. I got to be tough with her. This time, by George, she's going to give me an answer. I'm not like some people. You can twist them around your little finger. Leela, when are we going to get married?
What did you say?
You heard me.
Oh, gracious, Throckmorton, you're so impetuous.
Impetuous? We've been engaged now for 4 months. What's so impetuous about that? I want to know when we're going to get married.
Well, come in, won't you?
No, you come out.
Very well, Throckmorton, if you wish.
Yes. Now, we're going to sit down here on the veranda and settle this once and for all.
Yes, let's. You know, Throckmorton, you're so masterful. I hardly know you when you're like this.
Well, it's my other side. Now, let's get down to business. When do we get married? Name the date, Leela.
Well, tell me first, why do you want me to marry you, Throckmorton?
Well, because... just because.
Because what?
Because I...
Go on, say it. Because you what?
Well, I think Leroy needs a mother.
A mother? Is that all I am to you, a mother for Leroy?
Now, Leela, I didn't say that.
Well, I guess I know what you were thinking, and I can give you your answer right now.
Now, Leela, don't fly off the handle. Let's be reasonable about this thing.
Throckmorton, I am the soul of reason, I assure you. I've thought it all over, and I've decided that we have no business getting married till after the war.
After the war? But, Leela, that may be a long time.
Well, you asked me for my decision, and that's it. I'll marry you the day the war is won.
That settles it.
What?
I demand a second front. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to interrupt here for just a moment in order to present a very charming and courageous lady who has something to say to you. That she is charming is no secret to her thousands of admirers, and the proof of her courage is her 4-month expedition across the Atlantic this past winter to entertain our troops in England, Ireland, Scotland, and North Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kay Francis.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask your attention for 1 minute. 1 minute isn't very long, but in this very brief minute that you hear my voice, men are dying for you, dying on distant battlefields, in strange waters. Men from Nebraska, Illinois, Texas, boys from across the street, boys that you know. Right now, while I speak to you, 60 seconds in a minute. How many times 60 men are dying for you? And as they die, they are remembering home, remembering us, wanting to come home, knowing they never will. Are we worth remembering? Are we worth coming home to? No. Not unless we do all we possibly can to win this war. And our possible all is so little compared to what they give. We are not asked to give, but to lend our dollars to our government, to carry our share of the $13 billion needed in the second war loan. Lend your dollars right now, right this minute, while those men are giving their lives for you. You'll get your dollars back.
Thank you, Miss Francis.
Now let's get back to Summerfield and the great Gildersleeve. It's Easter morning, and the great man has started the day in a constructive and beneficent mood. He's intending, before donning his finery for the Easter parade, to build a rabbit hutch, but a brief inspection of the garage shows him that something is missing, namely the rabbits.
Leroy, where are your little pets?
You mean Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit?
Yes, you don't have to be so formal either.
Oh, well, they're in a perfectly safe place, Unc.
Where are they?
Don't worry about them.
Oh, Leroy!
What is it, Bertie?
Did you put those rabbits in the fireplace?
Fireplace?
There's no fire in it.
Yep.
That's their new home, Bertie. They love it there.
Well, maybe so, but they've moved out.
What?
They did.
Young man, you'll have to find those rabbits before we go to church. So get busy.
Oh, gosh, Unc, won't you help?
Well, that depends.
Hey, here comes Judge Hooker over by the back fence.
Judge Hooker, huh? What's he doing around here?
Gildersleeve. Oh, Gildersleeve.
Just stay on the other side of that fence, Hooker. You owe me a fender.
You owe me a bumper. You happen to be the owner of 2 oversized, overaged gray rabbits?
Oh, my goodness. Go get them, Leroy. Those rabbits belong to my nephew, Judge Hooker. See that you don't do anything that injures them.
Injures them? Look here, I just caught him finishing up the last head of lettuce in my victory garden.
I'm beginning to like those rabbits.
Well, if I catch him over here again, I'll give him to the city pound. Here, take him, Leroy.
Thanks.
So just remember, Gildersleeve, you not only owe me a bumper, but you owe me 1 dozen heads of lettuce.
You owe me a fender, and you can take a dozen heads of lettuce from my victory garden. What are you laughing at, you old nanny goat?
The rabbits ate your lettuce first.
Oh! Now, let's see. Handkerchief for the breast pocket. Need a flower for my buttonhole. Better put on the silk hat just to see how the whole thing looks. There. Hi, George Gildersleeve. You're a handsome fellow in a cutaway. Yes, sir. Come in.
Hey, come on down. Mrs. Ransom is here, and Marjorie wants to take everybody's picture.
Oh, good idea. I'll come right now. Leroy, I wonder if you could find me a flower somewhere for my buttonhole.
Okay, what do you want, an Easter lily?
No. Leroy, just something small and suitable. Oh, hello, Leela. Oh, happy Easter.
Well, happy Easter to you, too, Throckmorton.
Oh, that's a beautiful costume, my dear. Everyone will be saying, lucky Gildersleeve.
Oh, now, Throckmorton. But you look simply angelic in your gray trousers and cutaway, doesn't he, Marjorie?
Oh, he always does. He looks all ready for a wedding.
Let's not go into that.
Come on outdoors, everybody, and we'll take your picture. Ben's got the camera out there.
Well, are you sure there's time, Marjorie? Your uncle and I are going to church.
Oh, we all are.
Of course, Leela. Come on.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Happy Easter.
Oh, thanks, my boy. The same to you, Ben. Now, where do you want us to stand?
Oh, right there beside the lilacs will be all right.
Oh, fine. I'll put some lilac in my buttonhole.
Just stand anywhere, really. Isn't too much trouble. Now, if you could just smile, please.
How's this?
I gotcha. That one ought to be fine.
Now, who's going to take our picture? I'll do it, Marge.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, I take better pictures than anyone in the family. He has been lucky. All right, Leroy.
Where shall I stand, Marge?
Well, right beside me.
Here. Well, that's where I am already.
Can't you get a little closer?
Oh, I guess so.
All right, now look at her, you big goof.
Oh, I am looking at her.
Ben, honey, why don't you put your arm around her waist?
Oh, gosh, right here in front of everybody?
Why not?
Well, all right. Say, this is quite comfortable.
They're so in love. Don't they look beautiful together?
Yes, they do, Leela.
They just look like an Easter magazine cover, I declare.
Yes, so do you, Leela.
Got it! Thank you, Leroy.
Yeah, much obliged. Gee, I never enjoyed having my picture taken before.
By George, I'm glad we decided to walk, Leela.
It is nice.
Yes, sir. Oh, good morning, Dr. Pettibone. Happy Easter.
Good morning, Doctor.
He goes to a different church.
I know. Here comes old Mrs. Carrington. Don't tell me she's walking to church.
Yeah, but you stop for a long conversation. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Carrington. Oh, happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Happy Easter, Mrs. Carrington, and what a lovely shawl you're wearing.
Thank you, Mrs. Ransom. I'm glad you had the sense not to call it a fascinator.
You're looking awfully well, Mrs. Carrington. Did you have a good winter?
Pretty cold, pretty cold.
Yes, but now it's spring. What do you hear from your grandson? Is he still with
Oh, yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. They made him a vice president this year, and next year they're going to raise his salary.
Well, he's coming along nicely.
Mercy, I'm afraid we'll all be late for church.
Oh, we must all hurry, but I'm glad to see you young people still dress up for Easter. You make a very handsome couple.
Oh, now, Mrs. Carrington.
I haven't had a chance to congratulate you formally. When is the wedding to be?
Well, it depends a little on the war.
Oh, don't wait too long. After all, we're only young once. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Ransom. Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Carrington.
Oh, she's a wonderful old lady. I always enjoy seeing her. She makes me feel so young.
Yeah.
Come on, Throckmorton, let's run.
Run! Leela! Hey, wait! Well, Leela, there's nothing like the feeling when you've been to church on Easter. Because I always feel like a new man after church. But on Easter, I feel even happier.
I feel the same way, Throckmorton.
I don't know what it is, the Easter hymns or something. But when the collection basket came around this morning, I put in twice as much as I'd planned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, should have planned that much in the first place, though. Oh, here comes Peavy. Happy Easter, Peavy.
Happy Easter, Mr. Peavy.
Joyous Easter to you, Mrs. Ransom, and to you, too, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Just coming from church, Mr. Peavy?
Yes, I am, Mrs. Ransom. Mrs. Peavy and I attended the services together, and then I went by the shop to get this little surprise for her.
Surprise, eh? What is it, a plant?
A begonia. I've given her a potted begonia every Easter since we've been married.
Listen, Peavy, if you've given her a begonia every Easter, she couldn't possibly be surprised when you walk in with this one.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
But you've already given her 20 or 30 begonias for Easter.
31. I know, because Mrs. Peavy saves the pots.
Yes. That's nice.
Yes, and when I give her this one, I know just exactly what she'll say.
What, Mr. Peavy?
She'll say, Richard Peavy, don't you know it's wicked to be extravagant?
But that's not extravagant, Richard.
Well, I know that, Mr. Gildersleeve. So does Mrs. Peavy. That's just her little way of acting surprised.
I think it's a very sweet way, too.
I do myself. Anyhow, she always says it, and then she gives me my surprise.
You get a surprise, too, huh? What's your surprise, Peavy?
A box of crystallized ginger.
Crystallized? Crystallized ginger? That's pretty strong stuff, isn't it?
Yes, but I've got a taste for it.
Yes.
And is that your surprise every year, Mr. Peavy?
Every year.
It's a wonder you don't faint from excitement.
Well, I don't faint, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I give a pretty good imitation.
Yeah, good enough to fool Mrs. Peavy.
Well, I wouldn't say that. But when you folks have been married as long as I have, you know that our kind of surprise is more fun than a real one.
Yes, you may be right. Well, so long, Peavy. Happy Easter to you and Mrs. Peavy.
Well, the same to you and Mrs. Ransom. Good day.
Throckmorton,
Yes, Leela?
was there any war news today?
Well, apparently the Allied forces made substantial gains in El Milang region.
Throckmorton,
Yes, Leela?
isn't it wonderful that Mr. and Mrs. Peavy are so happy after all these years?
Yeah, I guess so. Of course, he's rather a strange fellow.
Throckmorton,
Yes?
we're neither of us getting any younger, are we?
Of course not, Leela.
Throckmorton,
What is it, Leela?
how would you like to come to my house this evening for chicken fricassee? There'll just be the two of us.
Chicken fricassee? Oh, brother, I'll be there. That was a wonderful dinner, Leela.
I'm glad you liked it, darling.
Maybe I overindulged a little.
Oh, I didn't notice.
That's because I didn't overindulge any more than usual.
You were so cute sitting at the head of my table serving my dinner and all. It looked natural somehow.
Guess I'll smoke a cigar.
You know something, Throckmorton? I've been nervous in this house the last few days.
What on earth is there to be nervous about?
Oh, nothing in particular. Sometimes I think I hear strange noises in the night. But, you know, with you here, I don't feel nervous a bit.
Fine.
But when you're not here, I do feel nervous.
And maybe you ought to see Dr. Pettibone. Get some vitamins.
Oh, fish.
What did you say, Leela?
Nothing. Throckmorton, I've been thinking.
Yes, Leela?
Maybe Leroy shouldn't wait till after the war to have a mother.
Oh. Huh? Leela, will you?
What do you mean, Throckmorton?
Could you marry me before the war is over?
Well, for Leroy's sake, I might consider it.
How about next week?
Now, Throckmorton, don't be so impetuous.
Well, June's a nice month for weddings.
Yes, it is.
June 1st.
Well, that's awfully soon.
June 1st.
Well, I think we might say the first week in June.
Oh, darling, you know, this is the happiest Easter of my life.
Really, honey?
Sure. Why, everybody ought to be married. It's a law of nature. 2 by 2, male and female. A girl for every boy in the world.
Hey, Unc, what do you think?
Leroy, what?
Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit just had quintuplets.
Easter, like all important holidays, is a time for families and old friends to get together, or if they can't do that, at least to get in touch with one another. And so this Easter, we of the Kraft family bring you the greetings of our sponsor through its president, Mr. J.L. Kraft. Mr. Kraft.
I'm glad of this opportunity to bring Easter greetings to Kraft men and women everywhere and to the families of our boys and girls who are now in the service of their country. When we think of Easter, we naturally think of the resurrection. The two words are eternally linked together. In every Christian land today, the celebration of Easter will bring its age-old message of hope to a war-darkened world. The fact of the resurrection and the faith which it symbolizes have never been so significant to so many nations and to so many peoples in the world's history. In itself, the word resurrection is one of the most beautiful in our language. It means bringing back to life, the conquest of death, the return of hope. At this springtime of the year, all nature tells the story of resurrection. We read its meaning in the budding trees and in the miracle of nature's reawakening to vibrant life. There is still another significance to the word resurrection, to bring back to memory that which was forgotten or lost. And it is upon this meaning of resurrection that I have been reflecting on this Easter Sunday. While our boys are away fighting for freedom around the world, enduring hardships, loneliness, weariness, we on the home front have a high responsibility toward them. While they are absent, our virtues grow in their minds and our shortcomings are forgotten. Let us so live our lives that their ideals will not be shattered when they return. Let us make them as proud of us as we are proud of them. And so it seems particularly fitting to me that each of us at this Easter time should resurrect and strengthen our faith in God and in the ideals of our forefathers. That faith and those ideals on which this nation was founded and by which it grew strong and great. As youngsters, our mothers taught us to say when we pray, "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray thee, Lord, my soul to keep." I have just had a letter from one of our own boys in North Africa, in which he says that 8 men of his group kneel at their bunks every night and speak this prayer as they go to sleep. It means something to them. It meant something to us as children. Let us then, as we think of these simple prayers, resurrect the trusting faith of our childhood and approach God understandingly. Let us resurrect and renew our strength in the God-given pioneer virtues. Let us at home in our daily lives have the courage, the strength, and the fortitude of those who fight for freedom, that we and our children and they and their children may live in peace. They are counting on us, depending on us, to maintain their ideals of home and family until they join us again, and in this we cannot fail them.
The program has come to you from Chicago and Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. Johnson's Wax Products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Fibber and Molly join us in just a moment. The easiest and best way to make a waxed floor look its shining best is to buff it with an electric polisher. And if you don't have one, here's good news. Once again, the famous Johnson's electric polisher is available in nearly every neighborhood. You can rent one at a surprisingly low cost. The Johnson's electric polisher takes all the work out of buffing. You merely flick a switch and guide it across the floor. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can polish every floor in your home. Polish them to such a hard, gleaming luster that just an occasional light dusting will keep them bright and clean. You know, of course, that there's no finer wax for your floors than genuine Johnson's Paste Wax. Now try the easiest and best way to buff Johnson's Paste Wax to a protective, mellow beauty. Rent a Johnson's electric polisher from a dealer in your neighborhood. Or if you prefer to own one, the price is $44.50. Use it with genuine Johnson's Paste Wax. They're a perfect team for bringing out the beauty of your floors.
Look on the bright side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of the home.
Wistful Vista's annual contest on I Like to Patronize My Neighborhood Merchants Because is over. And guess who knocked out a prize-winning letter? The notification has just arrived in the morning mail, and... No, It wasn't him. It was her. Of Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, I won. Isn't that exciting? I won a prize. Imagine, the first contest I ever won, dearie.
Well, gee, that's wonderful, kiddo. Congratulations.
Sure.
We'll sell the electric refrigerator because we already got one.
What?
We'll keep the car and sell our old one. You keep the mink coat and I'll learn to fly the airplane. We can take the trip to Honolulu while they paint the house and refurnish the living room. Then when we get back...
McGee, wait a minute.
Huh?
I didn't win all that stuff. I just won a new...
What do you mean, all that stuff? Why, that's hardly anything in a contest these days. And if that Ralph Edwards thinks he's going to renege on all them promises, by George...
This was not truth or consequences.
Huh?
This was the annual wistful vista I like to patronize my neighborhood merchant because in 25 words or less.
Oh, that. What's the first prize in that vacant lottery? Trip by motor scooter through the fish hatchery?
I should say not. Listen to my award. It says, this letter entitles you as winner of the first prize in the women's division to an original Easter creation by Henri, Wistful Vista's leading couturier. Isn't that marvelous?
Who's Henri and what does he mean, an original Easter creation? What's he going to do, lay a purple egg?
For your information, sweetheart, the word couturier means fashion designer.
Huh? Oh.
It's from the French words couture, meaning dressmaker, and rie, meaning we'll sew some sequins on it for another $700.
Oh, that Henri.
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yeah.
A special Easter dress created just for me by Henri himself. I think I'll tell him Come in. Oh, it's Mr. Williams, the weatherman, McGee. Hello, Mr. Williams.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hi, Foggy, old man. What's the weather forecast? Light flurries of sunshine, followed by Wednesday and Thursday, and unsettled bills on the first of the month?
McGee, I'm afraid you take the science of meteorology rather lightly.
He does, Mr. Williams. He says he can look at an almanac and tell what the weather is going to be better than depending on you people.
And I can, too. I'm part Indian, you know.
Really? What part?
The part that sits around the fire.
Are Indians good weather prophets, Mr. Williams?
Oh, yes, indeed they are.
Yeah, eh?
Some Indian tribes have uncanny powers of weather forecasting.
Yeah?
I spent 3 years with the Camelback Indians of western Arizona, and I'm still mystified.
Yeah?
Every year when they performed their rain dance, it rained within 24 hours.
Oh, that's easy explained. They just waited for a rainy day and then held the dance the day before.
Oh, I don't know, McGee. Some things aren't so easily explained.
Yeah?
Now, I'm not superstitious, but I went to a St. Valentine's dance once, and the next day I got 12 Valentines. Did the Indians make you a member of the tribe, Mr. Williams?
After I'd studied very hard and learned all their dances, Mrs. McGee, then they adopted me and gave me the name Manaho Dindin Malakil Ben Alamata Natatatata Fla.
Meaning what?
Clumsy.
Show us how they did the rain dance, Mr. Williams, will you?
Well, I'd be glad to, Mrs. McGee, but I can't dance it without a tom-tom.
Oh, that's easy fixed. Here, I'll drum on the radio cavity. You all set?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Hey, yee, hoo, hoo, hey, yee, hoo, hoo.
Oh, that's the rain dance.
Hey, yee, hoo, hoo, hey, yee, hoo, hey.
My gosh, listen to that. Rain.
I'm sorry. I'm a little out of practice, and I guess I overdid it a trifle. I'd better get home and phone the bureau what happened. I'm afraid I might have exceeded my authority. Good day.
Wasn't that the most amazing thing you ever saw, McGee? He did the rain dance and it rained.
Oh, I don't know. My cousin Louie learned to foxtrot one night, and on the way home he got bit by a fox. So he said, hey. If we're going to get down to this dressmaker's, we'd better snap into it, kiddo.
Are you going with me?
Why, certainly. You think I'm going to have some monkey try to palm off a boulder burlap on my wife that just won first prize in the women's division? Come on, get your hat.
Well, I'm so glad you're coming with me because you have such good taste in other people's clothes.
Yeah.
I'll be right with you, dear.
Okay, Tootsie. There goes a good kid. Imagine her slinking around town in a real Paris creation. I'll bet she'll be... Uh-oh. Now, come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, Teeny. I can't talk to you now. I and Mrs. McGee are going shopping.
Okay, mister. Boy, did you hear the crowd burst, mister? Did you?
Hear it. I played the accompaniment for it.
Well, it sure was a...
Skip it.
Okay. My daddy said it was raining cats and dogs for a few minutes,
Yeah.
but I ran right outdoors, but I couldn't see any. Looked to me just like ordinary rain.
It did, eh?
Boy, it...
I says it did, eh?
Did what?
Looked just like ordinary rain.
Whom to?
To you.
When?
When it started to rain so hard a few minutes ago and you went out...
I know it. Oh, gee. I hope it clears up from Easter, Esther.
Huh?
I said I hope it clears up for Easter, mister.
Oh. I said, oh. You got big plans for Easter, sister?
Oh, I sure have, I bet you. First
Yeah?
thing in the morning, I'm going to feed Susie some carrots and lettuce.
Who?
Susie.
Oh, your pet rabbit, eh?
No, Susie's my little sister.
Huh?
She hates vegetables.
Oh, I see.
Then after Sunday school, I'm going to take my paint box and creep into my daddy's bedroom and paint him all red and green and orange and purple and everything. I hope I can do it without waking him up, I bet you.
That seems like kind of a messy trick to play on your father on Easter Sunday, sis. What's the idea?
Well, mister, I just got thinking it over. He's awful good to me.
Well, yeah, but that's all the more
So
reason why...
I just thought to myself, Teeny, I thought,
Uh-huh.
why don't you paint your daddy some pretty colors so he'll look nice for Easter?
Oh.
He's been such a good egg. Oh, it's stopped raining now, mister. So long.
So long, sis.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and Saturday Date.
Here's Henri. My goodness, I'm so anxious to get in there.
Yeah, hey, he can't be doing much business. He's only got one dress in the window. Down at the Bonton, they got 50 of them. I don't see why... Oh, hi there, old-timer.
Hello there, kids. Hey, what you doing downtown?
Well, I'm getting a new dress for Easter, Mr. Oldtimer. I suppose you'll be out Sunday morning to join the Easter parade?
No, I sure will, daughter. I love parades. Steam calliopes, tootling fellows with red coats and boat hooks and elephants. Sure brings back memories.
Yeah?
Used to be with a circus, you know, till my feet got burned so bad.
Well, how did your feet get burned so bad?
Well, they used to shoot me out of a cannon, and one day they used too much gunpowder.
You mean they fired you and then you quit?
Son, it was no joking matter.
No?
I had a feeling something was wrong that sultry afternoon in Fort Wayne, Indiana in July 1889. I crawled down into the cannon while the crowds cheered. Then I heard the fellow pouring in the gunpowder, the scratch of a match, and boom.
Yes?
Next thing I knew, I was 8,000 feet over Cleveland, Ohio, headed northeast, with my shoes burned off and 3 friends back in my dressing room waiting to play pinochle.
Spoiled the whole game.
Be that as it may, and speaking of parades as I used to carry the front of the bass drum, too.
Yeah?
But I had to give that up too hard on my ears.
Oh, yes, they're pretty noisy, all right.
Oh, the noise didn't bother me, but the fellow that walked behind and played the drum had such long arms he liked to beat my ears off.
You should have stood in bed and pounded your own ear.
That's pretty good, Johnny, but that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, says, seen my wife lately? She's had her face lifted. Is that so? Says t'other feller. Now, who'd ever steal a thing like that?
Well, let's go in and order my Easter creation, dearie. I'm so impatient. I wonder what Henri will want to make for me. Come on.
Wow. What a shop. Some stuff. Wow. Is this an extra thick carpet, or is this joint built on quicksand? I'm in it up to my ankles, Molly. I can't...
McGee,
Huh?
look.
Huh?
Mrs. McDonald and those other women over there.
Huh?
What are they staring at me for? Is my slip showing or something?
No, and even if it was and you were wearing army boots, you'd still look better than any of them biddies. Look at him whispering. Talk about cats. I'm glad I ain't carrying a can of salmon. I bet you, by George, they're ready.
Oh, bonjour, Madame and Monsieur. You are perhaps wishing an appointment with the great Henri, no?
Look, sis. It's been 30 years since I was in France, and my parler français has lost some of its boo. Now, let's keep this in broken English, shall we?
Monsieur is pleased to make a joke. Your husband, Madame, il est très joli.
Oh, you ought to see him at a party with mayonnaise in his hair. Trying to flip a spoon into a water glass. Well, miss, I'd like to see Henri, please. Tell him Mr. and Mrs. Fibber McGee want to see him.
Yeah, my wife won the contest, sis. Henri's going to whip her up something for Easter.
Oh, Madame McGee.
Yes.
Oh, mais oui, Madame. Henri didn't expect you. He is at the moment in conference, but I will tell him that you are here.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't like the idea, Henri. I thought it was a pretty clever stunt myself.
McGee, look, it's Mr. Wilcox. Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Who? Oh, hi, Junior.
Well, what are you two doing down here?
I brought Molly down to have a dress designed for Easter, Junior. What's your excuse?
Oh, I had a great idea for Henri, pal, but
Yeah?
he can't see it.
Oh.
And he's supposed to pride himself on being original.
Well, maybe he likes to think them up himself, Mr. Wilcox. Say, you don't mean you're designing dresses for him.
No, I just had an idea for a material, Molly. One of those prints that are so popular for spring. I think it'd be wonderful for hostess gowns particularly, and I'd call it the hospitality print.
Oh, that sounds good, Junior. Weave us a yard or two.
Well, it'll be a series of tiny scenes, you see.
Uh-huh.
First, a print of a housewife looking dejected, sort of downcast, with a section of dingy-looking linoleum at her feet. Then a picture of a can of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, and the words, no rubbing, no buffing. Then along the side of the gown would be the same housewife smiling, and the same linoleum, but with a high, glistening glow coat shine on it. The sort of beautiful new look that only Johnson's self-polishing glow coat can give your linoleum so easily. It'd be swell on a glazed chintz.
But, Mr. Wilcox...
I figure he could line the gown in a contrasting color, you see, with a design of cans of glow coat rampant on a field of gleaming faces. Indicating the happiness that glow coat brings and the warm hospitality which would give the print its name.
Yeah.
Along the hem, he could embroider Harlow Wilcox, representative. And maybe my phone number. Nothing vulgar, you understand. Just a small handwork signature.
Look, hey. Look, Waxy.
Yes, pal.
Do me a favor, will you?
I'd like to, pal, but I've got to go.
That's it.
Oh, so long, Molly.
Henri, McGee. My goodness, I haven't been so nervous since graduation.
Nervous?
You know, the women in this town are just scared to death of him.
Ah, Pata, no frilly little minuet dancing ruffle duster's going to scare us, kiddo. What's to be scared about?
Well, they say he's terribly temperamental. If he doesn't like a customer...
Monsieur Henri will see you now, madame. Please, to step this way.
Oh, yeah.
Announcing Monsieur and Madame McGee.
Oui.
Entrez, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Well, heavenly days. So you're Henri.
You know this guy, Molly?
Well, I should.
Huh?
Remember the night we went to the Western movie and the man next to me spilled his popcorn all over us? Well, this is him.
And you're Ms. McGee. Well, it sure is a small world, ain't it? Well, howdy, McGee. Sit down. Say, it's a nice-looking suit you got on there.
You like this suit, Henri? January clear sale at the Bonton, $35 with 2 vests. I wear out a lot of vests because I'm an elk, and my elk's tooth swings back and forth like a pendulum. I like the 6 buttons on the cuff, Henri.
Hey, that's real tricky. I sure like the way that coat drapes, too.
Well, I'm kind of fussy about how my coats hang around the chest, Hank. Not a bad-looking pair of pants you got on there, too, either. Them reverse pleats?
Yep, I always wear reverse pleats.
Mm-hmm.
Get thick in the waist around my age, and the pleats kind of soften up the outline.
Mm-hmm.
You wear belt or galluses?
Suspenders.
Oh. Me, too. The pants hang better.
Mm-hmm.
I thought...
I like that button-down shirt collar you got on there, too, Hank. That's nice.
Well, thanks. It's mighty comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Miss McGee. Here's a magazine you can read while we talk.
What? Well, I don't want to read a magazine. I came down here to get a dress designed, remember?
Oh, my gosh, she did it, that, Henri.
Oh, sure. Well, now then, Miss McGee, I'm going to design you something real pretty. Eloise, get me a bowl of that bengaline and whatever else is laying around out there, except Mrs. McDonald, and drag that dress for me in here. And hang up my beret, will you?
Oui, Henri. Bengaline and whatever else.
Well, now, let me see, folks. Take a look at these patterns. Here's one I done for Miss McDonald. She's the president of the bank's wife, and she was real tickled with it.
Liked it, did she?
No, she hated it. Huh? Tickled her so much she kept laughing in church. Kind of fuzzy material.
Hank, I think you and I are going to get along. Now, here's my idea for a dress for my wife. Now, suppose we take a few yards of décolleté, sweep it up the shoulder in a sort of a percale bodice with a line gusset to offset the dirndl.
Now, McGee, I don't
Well, now, McGee, I sure would consider that idea a long time before I threw it out. Mabel, my pincushion. Okay, Miss McGee, now take off your coat. Now, let me see here. I think maybe a nice suit, full skirt with a fitted jacket and some peplum.
Billy Mills Orchestra and the King's Men salute the Academy Award-winning Zippity-Doo-Dah.
Open your mouth without a song, jump right out of it. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It is the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Zip, 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 zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine head my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's really true. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. What a wonderful feeling when you're feeling this way. What a wonderful zippity-doo-dah.
Now then, Miss McGee, we'll just pin it up a little higher on the left shoulder and drape it a little more around the left hip. There you are. Now take a look into the mirror.
Why, that's beautiful, Henri. Simply beautiful.
Well, George.
And all with a handful of cloth and a mouthful of pins.
Well, that's going to make a mighty handsome suit, Henri.
Well, thanks, folks. Glad you like it. Eloise, take Miss McGee's measurements. Show her the best linings and buttons we got in the place. You just trot along at the fitting room with Eloise, Miss McGee.
All right, thank you. Lead on, Eloise.
Boy, you sure know your stuff, Hank, old man. Where'd you pick it up? You really from Paris?
Twice.
Huh?
Yes, sir. I was born in Paris, Illinois, and run me a ladies' tailor shop in Paris, France in 1919.
Oh.
Lost my discharge papers, so I had to grow me a beard and get an accent and hide behind a dress form, see? Then I found I had a talent for it, and here I am.
Oh, what do you know?
I'm doing so good I could afford to throw away the accent. I was a kind of a...
Hello, Henri. I was just... Oh, hello, McGee.
Hi, Doc. What are you doing here?
Well, I always go through Henri's shop on my way to the hospital. It's a short cut.
Huh?
Out the back of the post office, through Joe's Coke and Smoke, through Henri's place, around the filling station, and there I am.
Hospital?
Mm-hmm. Well, how's it, Henri?
Oh, just swell, Doc. Have a chair and roll yourself a cigarette. Here's the makings.
I haven't got time, thanks.
Well, how's business with you, bag bitches? I understand you worked some miraculous cures at the hospital last month by taking a week off.
That is a lie, and you know it. Those people would have gotten well anyhow. So what are you doing in here?
I'm going to have Henri make Molly an outfit for Easter.
Hey, that's pretty expensive, isn't it?
The best is none too good for my wife, boy. Expense is no object. Hardly. No, sir. It's only money. That's what I always say.
Oh, brother, listen to little string saver. Rhinestone Jim Brady. You don't impress me, Pinch Nickel. I happen to know you're so tight-fisted you didn't buy gloves all winter. You got out your golf clubs and used the mittens off your driver and your brassy.
Oh, now, Doc. Oh, let him talk, Hank. Let him rave. He ain't what you might call a swift man with a buck himself. The taxi drivers around town call him No-Tip Gamble, the man with the even change.
I don't believe that, McGee.
Oh, thanks, partner. Well, I look forward to seeing Molly in the Easter parade, Henri. Followed at 5 paces by our little Lucius Booby in that pinstripe awning he uses for a sport coat. I mean, the one with the belted back that ought to be belted right back to the sweatshop it came from.
Now, let's not get started on clothes again, fat boy. Incidentally, what do you do in a couple of weeks from now when Ringling Brothers start on the road and want their tents back?
Well, I just...
Well, I guess everything is all set, Henri. And thank you very much. Come on, McGee, let's... Oh, hello there, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, my dear. Can I give you a lift as far as the front door?
Oh, no, thank you, Doctor. I just want to...
Oh, excuse me, folks. Henri is speaking. Well, now, Miss McDonald, that's kind of an embarrassing question for me to ask. Ain't ethical.
Mrs. McDonald, she's one of them women that was whispering about you when you come in, Molly.
Probably wants to know if Henri has any material that'll make her complexion look like Molly's.
Yeah?
She has an epidermis that looks like it had been sprayed for fruit flies.
Now, you just hold the phone, Miss McDonald. Hey, Miss McGee, Miss McDonald wants to know who made that dress you got on. She'll give me $500 to make her one just like it. Now, don't tell me if you don't want her.
Tell him, kiddo.
Should I tell him? Well, I made it myself, Henri.
Yeah.
When we needed slip covers for the Davenport, McGee ordered too much material, so I used what was left for a dress.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Hello, Miss McDonald. That model was an original Sophie. That's right, and it can't be duplicated. I'm sorry, Miss McDonald. Well, I'll have your outfit ready for Easter, Miss McGee.
Thank you, Henri.
Hey, Doc, you want to get in the Easter parade with Molly and me? Molly can wear her new creation, and you and I will walk behind her carrying the Davenport, huh?
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. A friend of mine, a businessman who doesn't have much to do with housekeeping, helped his wife wax some furniture the other day. He told me about it later. He said, you know, it's amazing how much satisfaction I got out of putting Johnson's paste wax on that table and then buffing it to a beautiful shining luster. Well, I know just how he felt. It's a very satisfying experience. You start out with a dull, ordinary-looking table, and after a little buffing, you have a table glowing and gleaming with a rich, warm, mellow glow. And then, too, it's good to know that the furniture and floors you wax with genuine Johnson's wax will stay beautiful. That shining film of tough wax will protect them and make them easy to keep clean. A quick wipe with a dry cloth will remove all dust and dirt and spilled things. And you'll have added reasons to be proud of your home if you bring out all its beauty with genuine Johnson's Paste Wax.
Look on the bright side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of the home.
Ladies and gentlemen, you probably know that the song Zippity Doo Dah won an Oscar during the recent Motion Picture Academy Awards.
Yes, Ken Darby and our own King's Men featured it in Walt Disney's Song of the South. And we're very proud that tonight they sang the same arrangement that Ken made for the picture.
A good boy. Good night.
Good night, all.
The makers of Johnson's Wax Products, Racine, Wisconsin, bring you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? Good night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
This is WMAQ NBC in Chicago.
61 American.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Feeling low,
Feeling tense. These 8 words are common sense.
smoke a lucky,
To feel your level best.
smoke a lucky.
To feel your level best.
Yes, to feel your level best, smoke a Lucky, because Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense, puts you on the right level to feel and do your level best.
That's what fine tobacco can do for you. And remember,
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
So the next time you buy cigarettes, be sure to ask for the cigarette of fine tobacco Lucky Strike. For remember, Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense, puts you on the right level to feel and do your level best.
Yes, smoke a Lucky to feel your level best.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Easter Sunday, and in cities all over the country, people are Easter parading. Right now in Beverly Hills, Jack is getting ready for his stroll down Wilshire Boulevard. At the moment, he's taking a shower, and Rochester is laying out his clothes.
Mr. Benny's been in that shower for a long time. It's funny the way the boss always puts on a bathing cap to keep his hair dry. Once it didn't work. He put on the bathing cap and then put his hair on top of it. He looked like a cantaloupe with sideburns. Well, I better get his clothes out. Say, here's a suit he wore home from New York. I haven't sent it to the cleaners yet. I'll take it and... Uh-oh. What's this book that fell out of his pocket? Well, it's Mr. Benny's diary. I wonder if I should read it. No, I better not. He sure got mad the last time I read it. Anyway, if Mr. Benny wanted me to know what he did in New York, he'd tell me. But he's been home over a week and he ain't told me, so here goes. Here's the first entry.
April 4th. Dear Diary, the flight to New York was exciting. Traveling by airplane is very pleasant, except they give the passengers free food, magazines, and chewing gum. I couldn't sell a darn thing.
I wonder what he did with that gallon of coffee and 4 dozen sandwiches he took with him.
I arrived in New York this morning, cheerful but bloated.
I guess he didn't eat all the sandwiches. The next entry is written in peanut butter.
April 5th. Dear Diary, this morning I was walking down Broadway and ran into Fred Allen, and I must say that Fred looks wonderful. He had all the wrinkles taken out of his face, and luckily they didn't have to use surgery. Fred's face has so much loose skin, they just pulled his ears back and tied them in a bow. looked like an Easter bunny.
Mr. Benny's diary sure is dull. 2 days in New York, and he ain't been to Harlem yet.
April 6th. Dear Diary, last night I attended a dinner party at the home of Mr. William Paley. He's the head of CBS. I sat on the right of his lovely wife, Barbara. Mrs. Paley is certainly a charming woman. I wonder what network he got her from. April 7th. Talk to my sponsor today.
Well, now it's getting interesting.
April 8th. Talk to my sponsor today. April 9th. Talk to my sponsor today. April 10th. Talk to my sponsor today. April 11th. Talk to my lawyer today. April 12th. My lawyer talked to my sponsor today. April 13th. My lawyer will be my summer replacement. April 14th. Started for home on the Santa Fe Super Chief. The Super Chief is a wonderful train, but I think I enjoyed the plane trip more. The hostess had prettier legs than the conductor.
Well, I'll be darned. No mention of Harlem at all. If he didn't go to Harlem, why'd he bother
Oh, Rochester! Rochester.
Uh-oh, here he comes. I better hide the diary.
Rochester, what are you doing?
I was looking through this suit to see if it needed to be sent to the cleaners.
Oh, well, while I finish dressing, look through the closet, see if there's anything else that needs cleaning.
Yes, sir. What about this gray suit, boss?
I don't know. How does it look to you?
Well, it's got a gravy stain on the sleeve, salad dressing on the pants, butter on the cuff, coffee on the lapel, and meat sauce all over the vest.
It has?
Yeah, shall I send it to the cleaner or put it in the refrigerator?
Send it to the cleaner. But first, Rochester, go through the pockets and make sure I didn't leave any money in it.
Oh, boss, calm down.
Never mind, just do it. Well, I'm all dressed, Rochester. How do I look?
Fine, but you better put your glasses on.
Oh, I'm not going to wear my glasses. They make me look old.
But you don't see too well without them.
Rochester, I only need my glasses for reading. Now, let's see. I think I'll take a top coat with me in case I'll get it. Oh, hello, Phil.
I'm Mary.
Oh, happy Easter, Mary. Well, I'm ready to go walking if you are.
I'm ready, Jack. But aren't you going to say anything about my new dress?
Let's see. Say, it's very pretty. But, Mary, isn't it kind of daring?
Well, no, this is the latest style. It's called a plunging neckline.
Well, you better grab it fast, sister. It's getting away from you.
Oh, don't be silly, Jack. Plunging necklines are the latest style. All the girls will be wearing them today.
They will?
Yes.
Oh, Rochester, bring me my glasses. Thanks. Now, come on, Mary, let's go to the boulevard and stroll in the Easter parade. Gee, there are a lot of people on Wilshire Boulevard, aren't there, Mary?
Yeah, and everybody's dressed so nice.
Well, so are you. Gee, that new hat you're wearing is really cute. Where'd you get it?
The May Company. They give me all my clothes.
The May Company gives you all your clothes? Gee, that's funny. You've been working for me for the past 15 years.
I know. They send me food, too.
Oh, well, that's nice of them.
Say, Jack.
What?
How far do you think we ought to walk?
Oh, I don't know. Probably as far as La Brea, and then we'll...
Jack, look who's coming this way. Isn't that one of the boys in your Beavers Club?
Oh, yes. Hello, Joey.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, Miss Livingston.
Hello, Joey. Say, that's a mighty cute rabbit you have there.
Yeah, it's my Easter bunny. I'm taking him over to Mr. Benny's house to feed him.
To my house to feed him? Why?
My father says you got more lettuce than anyone in Beverly Hills.
Did you just get this rabbit, Joey?
Oh, no. I got him last Easter. In fact, I had 2 of them.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
In a minute, Jack. What happened to your other rabbit, Joey?
I don't know. He just disappeared around Christmas time.
Mary, let's go.
Joey, exactly when did your other rabbit disappear?
It was December 23rd.
Well, thanks for telling me. Goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Miss Livingston. Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, goodbye. You know, Mary...
Oh, quiet. You and your mink Christmas presents.
That was just a coincidence. I happened to get a mink with pink eyes, that's all. You know, Mary, strolling along the boulevard today reminds me of that picture we saw with Fred Astaire and Judy Garland.
You mean Easter Parade?
Yeah, that's the one. Remember at the start of the picture when Fred Astaire was walking along Fifth Avenue singing that song and the people all answered him? How did that song go again? Oh, yes, I remember it now. Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh, me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue. And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Isn't that nice, Mary? They all answered us just like in the picture. Gee, I'll never forget how... Hey, Mary, look.
Huh?
Look, stepping up on the curb. Get a load of those legs.
Oh, who is it?
The conductor on the Super Chief. Now, come on, Mary. We got to keep up with the crowd, you know. I want to walk all the way down to La Brea.
Say, Jack, look. There's Phil Harris standing on the corner.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Phil.
Hiya, Livy, you little Easter bunny. Who's that egg you got with you?
Donna, I forgot to take off my bathing cap. Say, Phil, Mary and I are strolling down Wilshire. Want to join us?
No, Jackson. The Chamber of Commerce wants me to stand here till another bus comes by.
Another bus?
Yeah, I'm the grand finale of the 95-cent tour.
What?
Them out-of-towners go nuts.
Oh, brother.
Phil, aren't you a little conceited?
Nah, conceit is when you think you got it and you ain't.
And of course, Phil, you've got it.
16 silver dollars and a box of Snickers to that gray-haired gentleman with a button shoe.
Mary, you talk to him. I can't.
Look, Phil, Jack and I are going for a walk. Do you want to join us or not?
Oh, I'd love to, Liv, but when I finish here, I got to go home and take my uncle to the train.
I didn't know you had an uncle here.
Yeah, he arrived Tuesday on business. Came out here for the eclipse.
Oh, is he an astronomer?
No, a pickpocket. Oh, Jackson, when will you learn to still those quivering lips?
Come on, Mary, let's go.
All right. So long, Phil.
So long, Livy, you dove. See you later.
Come on, Mary.
Hey, Jackson.
What?
Don't feel bad. You got the bluest eyes on Wilshire Boulevard.
I know. So long, Phil. Come on, Mary. You know, Mary, Phil kids a lot, but underneath it all, he's really a nice guy.
Oh, stop fluttering your eyelashes.
Jealous. Now, come on, dollface. We got a long way to walk yet. Walking with you side by side. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Fills my chest with so much pride. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh, me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Bum 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 bum.
Jack, get up. You're not as young as Fred Astaire.
I know, he's 38. Now, come on, Mary. Gosh, what perfect weather. Spring, the skies are clear, the flowers are blooming, the sun is shining. Well, look who's here.
Bonjour, Monsieur Benny.
Well, Professor LeBlanc, what a surprise running into you.
Hello, Professor.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Professor, you certainly look nice today. Is that a new Easter suit you're wearing?
Mademoiselle, I am a poor violin teacher. I cannot afford to buy new suits.
Well, what do you do with the money I pay you for my violin lessons?
I buy sleeping pills.
Oh, are they any good?
No. After a few days, I wake up.
Well, it was nice seeing you, Professor, and don't forget, you're giving me a violin lesson next week.
I will not forget. I will tie a string around my finger.
Good, good.
Better I should tie a rope around my neck.
What?
Goodbye, Monsieur Benny.
Goodbye. Say, Mary, I can't understand why he hates to give me violin lessons.
I can't understand it either. You play beautifully.
Well, Huh? See, Mary, that was sweet. What made you say that?
Oh, I don't know. Just an impulse. Yesterday, I kicked a cop in the pants.
Oh, well, sometimes you have to let yourself go, you know. Anyway, Mary, we're certainly running into a lot of people we know, aren't we?
Yeah.
Dum-da-dum-bum-ba-bum-ba-bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yum-ba-bum-bum, you doll face. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue. And you greet all the friends you meet. Happy Easter to you.
Say, Gertrude, what is it, Mabel? Gertrude, I feel so elegant walking in the Easter parade. How do you feel? My feet are killing me. But it's my own fault for buying such small shoes. Well, what size did you get? 9. Oh, for heaven's sakes. What's the matter? Getting your foot into a size 9 shoe is like docking the Queen Mary in a Dixie cup. Well, look who's talking. Get a load of your shoes. They're not so big. They're not. Last year when we went on our vacation, every hotel we stopped at pasted labels on them. Well, it's a natural mistake because my shoes are genuine cowhides. Cowhide? Yeah. From the way your toes stick out, it looks like milking time. Gertrude, the next time you talk to me like that, Hey, Mabel, look. Here comes Jack Benny. Oh, yeah. And look who's with him, Mary Livingston. She didn't have to put on airs with me. I remember when she and I worked at the May Company. Did you used to run into her? Very seldom. I was a night watchman. Look, Mabel, they're coming toward us.
Bum-ba-bum-bum-ba-bum-ba-bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yum-ba-bum-bum-ba-bum-ba-bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue.
Meet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Well, Don Wilson.
Hello, Don.
Well, hello, Barry. Oh, hello, Jack. I haven't seen you since you got back from New York. How was your trip?
Oh, wonderful, Don, and you'll be happy to know how popular you are. Everybody I ran into was asking about you.
Oh, really, Jack? Well, what'd they want to know?
Well, they want to know different things like what you eat for breakfast, what you eat for lunch, what you eat for dinner, what you have for dessert, what you have after dessert, what you eat between meals, what you eat before going to bed at night. All those different things.
Well, that's nice, Jack, but didn't they want to know anything about me on your program?
Let's see. Yes, they did, Don. They thought that my last couple of programs weren't quite as funny as usual. They want to know if you ate one of my writers.
Oh, Jack, I know you're kidding, but I wish you'd stop with that talk. It gives everybody the impression I'm fat.
All right, Don. I'll stop joking about your size.
Say, Don, would you like to walk down Wilshire Boulevard with us?
Oh, I'd love to, Mary, but I'm on the other side of the street.
Oh, yes. Lift your stomach, Don. Here comes a bus. Well, anyway, I'll see you later. Come on, Mary. Say, Mary, have you got a cigarette?
Oh, sure, Jack. I have some right here in my... Oh, gee, I forgot to put them in this purse.
Well, there's a drugstore right here on the corner. I'll step in and get some. A feeling low, a feeling tense. These 8 words that make a common sense. A smoke lucky. Small. Oh, mister. Mister.
Yeah.
Mister, I'd like to buy some...
Magazines?
No.
Sunglasses?
No. I'd like to buy some...
Lifesavers?
No, but as long as you're guessing and want to play games, I'll give you a hint. Now, what do you do to feel your level best?
I loosen my girdle. What do you do?
Well, if you must know, I smoke a Lucky.
Well, why didn't you say so? You want a package of Lucky Strike.
That's exactly what I want.
Here you are.
Thank you. Here's your money. Goodbye.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Jack, did you get your cigarettes?
Yes. Come on, Mary. Let's keep on walking.
Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Well, Mr. Kitzel! Kitzel, it's nice running into you today.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Benny. And how are you, Miss Livingston?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Mr. Kitzel, you certainly look nice in those striped pants, cutaway coat, and top hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... Yes, sir, it's just right for Easter.
Oh, thank you. But I'm also wearing it for sentimental reasons. This is the suit in what I got married.
Really?
Yeah, I'll never forget the ceremony. It was beautiful. When the preacher asked for the ring, my wife handed it to him, and then...
Wait a minute. How come your wife had the ring?
We weren't even married, and she went through my pockets already.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Kitzel, it was a pleasure running into you on Easter, but we've got to be moving along.
Well, I got to run along, too. This afternoon, I'm having an egg roll.
An egg roll on your front lawn?
No, in a Chinese restaurant.
Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Kitzel.
You know, Mary, it's always nice running into Mr. Kitzel. I don't know, he always seems so cheerful.
Hey, Bud. Bud.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Me?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mary. Yes?
What are you doing?
Well, we're just strolling along in the Easter parade.
How far you going?
To La Brea.
That's fine.
What?
You said you were going to La Brea, and I said that's fine.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't you going to try to talk me out of it?
Not me. This is my day off.
Oh.
Well, happy Easter.
Same to you. Same to you. Well, come on, Mary.
What happened?
Nothing. It's all right. We can go to La Brea. Come on.
Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter. It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Dana!
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mary.
Well, Dana, gee, it's good to see you. Did you have a nice Easter?
Oh, sure. I colored Easter eggs all morning, and then I hid them.
Uh-huh.
And then I told my mother to go look for them.
That must have been fun.
No, it was a mess. The eggs splattered all over the walls, the ceiling, and my mother's new dress.
Well, Dennis, where'd you hide the eggs?
In the Mixmaster.
In the Mixmaster?
Yeah, it was awful.
But, Dennis, colored eggs shouldn't splatter. How long did you boil them?
Oh, boiled them!
Mary, you take them, will you?
Dennis, Jack and I are walking down as far as La Brea. Would you like to join us?
Oh, sure. I'm not stuck up.
Well, that's nice of you. That's sweet of you, kid. Come on, kid.
Could you walk a little faster, Mr. Benny? I got to get home and take my uncle to the train.
Sure, we can. Your uncle?
Yeah, he's here on business. He came Tuesday for the eclipse.
Dennis, is he...
Mary, let me take this one. What did you say your uncle came here for, Dennis?
He came here for the eclipse.
He came for the eclipse, eh? I know, Dennis. He's a pickpocket.
No, he's a photographer, and he hasn't got a dark room.
Jack.
What?
Happy Easter.
All right. Let's walk on.
Say, Dennis, while we're walking along, why don't you sing something?
Well, gee, do you think it'd be all right right here on the street?
Well, sure. Everybody feels good today. They're all singing.
Yeah, they all want you to
sing,
too.
In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when they look you over, I'll be the proudest fellow in the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us, and you'll find that you're in the rotogravure. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade.
On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us,
and you'll find that you're in the rotogravure. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter.
Jack, we'll be back in just a minute, but first...
Feeling low,
Feeling tense.
these 8 words are common sense. Smoke a lucky
To be your level best.
Smoke a lucky
To be your level best.
You see, Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense, puts you on the right level to feel and do your level best.
That's why it's so important for you to select and smoke the cigarette of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. For as every smoker knows,
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
It's not surprising that Lucky's are the overwhelming choice of the tobacco experts. Men who can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And this fine Lucky Strike tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense, put you on the right level, the lucky level, where you feel your best and do your best.
So the next time you buy cigarettes, ask for a carton of Lucky Strike.
Smoke a Lucky to feel your level best. Smoke a Lucky to feel your level best.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Don't forget to hear Dennis Day and A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned for the Amos and Andy Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Wilbert Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers of Velveeta, the famous pasteurized processed cheese food that tastes so good and is so good for you. Yes, Velveeta is another of the Kraft family of fine foods. Foods you can depend on for delicious eating, for wholesome, healthy eating. So remember, to get the cheese food of quality, get Velveeta, the cheese food that's made by Kraft. Well, in the town of Summerfield, it's the day before Easter, and the great Gildersleeve's family is making elaborate preparations for the occasion. Marjorie has selected a new Easter outfit, Leroy has a new suit, and they've resolved to do something different this year, attend the Easter sunrise service. Of course, the great Gildersleeve hasn't heard about these early morning plans.
It's something I've always wanted to do, Leroy.
Yeah, it'll be keen. Boy, I can't wait to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go talk to Unky. Unky?
Hey, Unc, where are you?
In the den, children.
Are we interrupting anything?
No, not at all. Just glancing through the paper. Looking for an Easter gift for Paula.
Oh?
Guess I could get her one of these 2-pound chocolate Easter eggs. They're not too expensive.
Well, if you want to be cheap, why don't you get her an Easter rabbit and let him lay the eggs?
Leroy, I'm not trying to be cheap. I'm just trying to hold down expenses. Easter's beginning to cost as much as Christmas.
Speaking of Christmas, do you know what I want next time?
Leroy, please. Now then, what's the purpose of this delegation?
Unky, we have the most marvelous idea. Tomorrow we're going to sunrise service.
Yeah, we're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock. We'll have a good time.
Unky.
Just leave quietly and come home quietly.
You mean you don't want to get up at 4 o'clock?
No.
But, Unky, the sunrise will be beautiful.
Marjorie, I've seen the sunrise. I worked my way through college delivering milk. I'm going to the 11 o'clock service the way I always do. I'll need my sleep, so I'll be alert when I pass the collection plate. I don't want to drop it again.
Well, of course I can drive Leroy and Bertie to the service, but I wish you'd come along.
Is Bertie going?
She's singing in the choir. 100 voices, Unc.
Well, I would like to hear Bertie sing. Well, if there are 99 other voices, I wouldn't hear much of Bertie anyway.
Hey, Bertie! Ask Leroy. Unc doesn't want to go hear you sing. He don't.
No, it isn't that, Bertie. But I intend going to the 11 o'clock service tomorrow. Had my day all planned, a very busy day.
We all have a busy day ahead, Unky.
Yeah, I know Bertie's going to be busy. Bertie's going to sing like an angel at sunrise, then she's going to fly home and bake the ham. You ought to see Bertie's choir robe, Unc.
Really?
Oh, it'll be a beautiful spectacle, Unky. Cedar Hill will be banked with flowers.
Yes, I read about that.
Well, I've been there every year, and it's worth it just to hear those trumpets when the sun comes up.
It is, Bertie?
Oh, Easter's such a thrilling day. And, Unky, you'll see all the beautiful women in their new spring dresses.
Well, if you children insist.
Oh, boy, Unc. Glad you changed your mind, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, I didn't exactly change my mind. I've been considering going for some time, but I wanted to be sure all of you were willing to get up at 4 o'clock as I am.
Oh, brother.
Say, look at Peavy's window. All decorated for Easter. See, that rabbit holding the talcum powder looks just like Judge Hooker. Yeah, I think I'll go in. I still don't have a gift for Paula. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Peavy, what would make a nice Easter gift for Paula Winthrop?
Well, Easter's usually a little chilly. How about a hot water bottle?
No, Peavy.
How about some perfume?
Perfume?
Women like to dress up for Easter, and a good perfume like this is the crowning touch.
How much is it, Peavy?
$12 an ounce. That's the crowning touch.
Well, what the heck? Wrap it up. It's Easter.
Very well. Planning a big day, are you?
Yes, indeed. Peavy, guess what important official is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning for the sunrise service?
Reverend McNair?
Well, he's got to be there. I'm thinking about a fellow who's just volunteering.
You don't say.
Yep, I'm taking the little family. And then I'm passing the collection plate at the 11 o'clock service, too.
Well, good for you. I went to both services one Easter.
Is that so?
I didn't sleep the night before, not wanting to miss the sunrise service, and by 11 o'clock, my eyes were so red I wore dark glasses to church.
You did?
And you know what the minister did? He lectured me for staying out all night.
Oh, my goodness.
But Mrs. Peavy and I always enjoyed the sunrise services. Of course, it's usually a little foggy at that hour, but...
Well, I haven't been up at that hour since I was an air raid warden.
Well, you'd better take a flashlight. There's a tendency to bump into trees.
Oh?
And if you're showing off a new suit, take a cushion along.
Peavy, I'm not the sort of person who just goes somewhere to show off. I'm wearing my old blue serge.
You can't hurt that.
Yes.
It's quite a climb up Cedar Hill, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Are you trying to discourage me, Peavy?
Oh, my, no. I consider it quite a rewarding experience. In fact, Mrs. Peavy and I would be going again this year if she could stand the trek again.
Settling for the 11 o'clock service, are you, Peavy?
Yes, but between you and me and the gatepost, I'd rather get up at 4 o'clock and go with you than go to the 11 o'clock with Mrs. Peavy.
Well, I don't follow you.
Well, she insists on wearing her new Easter bonnet.
What's the matter with it, Peavy?
Well,
that bad, huh?
Worse. It's one of those dove on the nest affairs.
Oh.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't mind having people point at Mrs. Peavy's hat, but when bird dogs start pointing...
Peavy, it can't be that bad.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, Gildersleeve, you're ready for the sunrise service. I wonder if I will need this flashlight Peavy sold me. Who's that? Oh, the judge.
Here I am, Diogenes.
Judge, what do you mean, Diogenes?
With that flashlight, you must be looking for an honest man. Here I am.
All right, Judge.
Hop in. I'll take you home.
Thanks, Horace. That's where I'm headed.
Gildy, why are you carrying a flashlight in the middle of the day?
Well, I'll need it in the morning. I'm getting up at 4 o'clock.
You're going to the sunrise service?
You bet. Then I'm going to the 11 o'clock service.
Well, you must have a new suit you want to display.
Judge, you're as bad as Peavy. I'm not going to church just to show off my clothes. Besides, I don't have a new suit to show off.
I see. Here's a bump, Gildy.
What bumped me in the back of the head?
That's my canteen.
Canteen? What is all this junk in the back of your car?
Thermos bottles, blankets, folding chairs, and a buffalo robe.
Judge, where are you going? On a safari?
I'm taking Miss Matterhorn to the sunrise service.
Do you need all this equipment?
Well, you have to prepare for it. You're not just taking a flashlight, are you?
Well,
Besides what I have in the car, Miss Matterhorn is packing a lunch basket.
Lunch basket?
The road to Cedar Hill is narrow, Gildy, and with several hundred cars up there, it takes hours to get home. Miss Matterhorn and I enjoy the service, then spread our lunch and listen to the singing birds and the clash of bumpers.
That 11 o'clock service looks better and better.
But, Unky, I thought it was all settled that you'd go.
No, Marjorie, they can conduct the sunrise service without me. You, Leroy, and Bertie go and enjoy yourselves.
I don't know why you don't go.
My dear, I might not get back in time to pass the plate at the regular service. Judge says traffic is pretty heavy out there.
Unky, you've just cooled off on the idea.
Well, I'll admit I'm not as keen about it as I was this morning.
Why?
Well, Peavy and the judge nettled me. They accused me of going just to show off my new Easter suit.
But you don't have a new Easter suit. You just don't want to miss out on your sleep, that's all.
That has nothing to do with it. I'm staying home as a matter of principle.
All right, Unky, if that's your final decision.
That's my final decision.
I did it!
All right, Bertie.
Hello, Bertie. Good afternoon, Miss Winthrop. Come in. Oh, thank you.
Well, it's Paula.
Hello, Throckmorton. Marjorie. Hello, Mrs. Winthrop.
Paula, I was about to come over and pay you a visit.
Oh, really?
I have a little Easter gift for you.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you. But why don't you give it to me early tomorrow morning?
Early tomorrow morning?
Uh-huh. Leroy told me you're all going to sunrise service.
You did? Well...
Would it be terrible of me if I invited myself to go along? Oh, Leroy, Bertie, and I'll be delighted to have you go with us.
Paula, I had no idea you planned to go to the service.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Marjorie, you should see my Easter suit. Oh, I want to. It's blue pastel file with piqué collar, cuffs, and gloves to match. Oh, it must be darling.
Sounds great. What the heck is file?
And that isn't all. I have matching piqué shoes and hat with file trim. Oh, how wonderful. Easter's thrilling. What are you wearing, Marjorie? Well, I have the cutest linen dress with a full skirt and fitted top, and it has eyelet trim. Very smart.
Yeah, I can see this is no conversation for a man.
Oh, Throckmorton, here we are talking about our new outfits and not letting you get a word in.
Well.
I know you're going to be so handsome in your new Easter suit.
Handsome? Well, thank you.
I like to see men dress up. You know, people don't just look at the pretty girls.
Yeah.
I hope you got a powder blue pinstripe. I just love them. Well, I must go. See you bright and early in the morning, Throckmorton.
Yes, indeed, Paula. Bright and early.
Bye-bye, Marjorie. Goodbye, Paula. Unky, I thought you decided not to go to the service.
You going after all, Miss Gildersleeve?
And why shouldn't I go?
Miss Winthrop talked him into it, Miss Marjorie?
She had nothing to do with it.
No, sir.
I thought you weren't going because of what the judge and Mr. Peavy thought.
Why should I worry about what the judge and Peavy think? I'll put on my new suit and go.
You don't have a new suit.
Well, I'll get one.
A powder blue pinstripe?
Well, I had that in mind anyway before Paula mentioned it.
Yes, sir.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Keeping the food budget in line is a mighty good trick these days, if you can do it. And if you've been having difficulty, here's an idea to help you out. You can make really thrifty main dishes with Velveeta, Kraft's smooth, melting, pasteurized, processed cheese food. Velveeta is simply wonderful in casseroles, soufflés, omelets, and for a smooth golden cheese sauce that's perfect so many ways with bits of meat or seafood, vegetables, or just poured over toast. Now, this Velveeta sauce couldn't be easier to make. All you do is melt a half pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. Watch how quickly it melts without any lumps at all. Then gradually stir in a third of a cup of milk, season, and serve. How the folks will go for this golden beauty of a cheese sauce. And no wonder. It's delicious because Velveeta gives it such a grand, rich, yet mild cheddar flavor. And Velveeta makes this sauce nourishing because Velveeta is rich in high-quality, complete protein, as well as other important food values from milk. And Velveeta is digestible as milk itself. Get Velveeta tomorrow in the 2-pound loaf so you'll have plenty for snacks and sandwiches, as well as hearty, good-to-eat main dishes that'll help stretch your food budget. Just be sure you see the name Velveeta on the package you buy. Remember, Velveeta is the cheese food of top quality made only by Kraft. Well, the great Gildersleeve had decided not to attend the Easter sunrise service with his little family when his girlfriend Paula Winthrop came over and mentioned how handsome he'd look in his new suit. Of course, the great man didn't have a new suit, but that was 2 hours ago.
Isn't Unky home yet, Bertie?
Not yet, Miss Marjorie. He's probably having trouble finding a suit.
Well, he shouldn't have waited till the afternoon before Easter.
No, ma'am. I never saw a man change his mind so fast.
Neither did I, Bertie.
First he said he wasn't going, then he said he was. Then he said he wasn't because he's afraid somebody'd think he was showing off a new suit he bought, which he wasn't because he didn't.
That's hunky.
Then he said he was because Miss Winthrop thought he'd look handsome in a new suit which he didn't have, but which he would if he had it. So I hope he gets it.
Oh, so do I, Bertie. Oh, my hair's in curls. I don't want to be seen like this.
Never mind, it's Gildersleeve.
Yeah, thanks, Bertie.
What you got in the box, Miss Gildersleeve? New suit?
Yep.
Unky, why'd you ring the doorbell?
Well, seems that when I tried on my new suit, I left my keys in it. I was excited, I guess.
Open the box, Unky. Let's see what you picked out.
All right. I get rid of some of this wrapping twine.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Well, maybe I can help you, Unky.
What's going on?
I sure am anxious to see that.
So am I, but what am I anxious to see? What's in there?
Leroy, keep your shirt on.
Did you get the one with the stripe?
Here, white stripe.
What's in there, a polecat?
Leroy, don't be silly.
I'm not. I'm just trying to find out something.
I can't untie this knot. Where's my penknife?
Miss Gildersleeve, how'd you get it so fast?
I practically had to grab it and run.
Run with what?
It still has to be let out, Bertie.
Well, take the lid off and let it out. Well, let's see what's in there.
There it is. Isn't that a beauty?
Oh, it's beautiful, Unky.
Ain't that something?
Oh, for corn's sake, nothing but a suit.
My Easter suit, Leroy.
I thought you weren't going to buy an Easter suit.
Well, Marjorie, how do you like this necktie I bought to go with it?
Well, it's very striking, Unky.
It should be with those baseball bats on it.
Leroy, they're not baseball bats. It's just a modern design.
And he got the powder blue suit.
You don't think he'd come home with anything else after what Mrs. Winthrop said, do you?
Ah, so that's why you bought a suit. You want Mrs. Winthrop to see you in it.
Leroy, that isn't it at all. There'll be hundreds of other people who'll see me in it, too. Yeah, I mean, Bertie, you suppose you can give me a hand with a few alterations? The tailor couldn't get it ready today.
Yes, sir. Of course, it's a little late, and I got to take him in my choir robe.
Well, I guess I am upsetting things a little.
Well, if we're going to get up at 4 o'clock, we should be getting to bed soon.
Yeah, I got a lot of things to do.
So have I. But I'll help you with Unky's suit, Bertie.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now, let's not make a big thing of this. What we need is a little organization, and I'll be the organizer.
Sure.
We all have things to do, so let's do them. Bertie, you go do the things you have to do.
Yes, sir.
Marjorie, you and Leroy get the things done that you have to do.
All right, Unky.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to set the alarm for 4 o'clock and go to bed.
What a character.
Leroy, there'll be a lot of things to do in the morning, and I'll be up bright and early doing them.
It's 4 o'clock. You said you were going to get up and start doing things.
First thing I'm going to do is turn off this alarm and go back to sleep. Where is the darn thing?
Look out, you're pushing it off the table.
Oh, my goodness. Make it stop. Step on the thing, Leroy. Do something.
It's hiding from me under the bed. I got it.
Thank you, my boy. Good night.
Good night? It's Easter morning. We're going to the sunrise service, remember?
Sunrise? Oh, yes. Up, everybody. Rise and shine. Marjorie, Bertie, Leroy, up.
Are you kidding? Everybody's up but you.
Oh?
Don't sit there in bed shouting, rise and shine. Aunt, how much further is it?
Can't be far. The way traffic's slowing down, Leroy.
Such a winding road.
A little rough, too. Paula, I hope your Easter outfit isn't getting rumpled. It's so beautiful.
I'm fine.
You look lovely.
How can you tell? It's dark.
Oh, Leroy. Marjorie, how are you and Bertie doing?
All right, Unky. I just hope Bertie isn't going to be late to join the choir.
Oh, don't worry about Bertie.
We'll make it.
We'd be there now if Unc hadn't spent 10 minutes tying his tie.
Well, Leroy had to get it right. This is Easter, you know.
Are you stopping, Unky?
As far as we can go, Marjorie. Cars are all parked ahead of us.
Well, let's get out and start hiking. Unky, aren't we awfully far away?
No, my dear, I'll get you there. Just follow me. I know a shortcut.
We got plenty of time. There's no sign of a sunrise yet.
I can't see a thing in this fog. Hey, Unc, where's your flashlight?
Flashlight? Last night I put it right where I could lay my hands on it this morning.
And you don't know where you put it?
Yes, I do. It's right on the dresser at home. Come on, everybody. Follow me.
Gosh, we haven't seen anybody since we left the car.
Well, Leroy, not many people know about this shortcut, I guess.
Unky, do you know where you're taking us?
Of course I do. I think. Sure. This is the top of the hill, right here.
This is the top of the hill? But what hill?
This don't look like Cedar Hill to me.
We came up the back way, Bertie.
Oh, we certainly did. Oh, what a climb. Where is everybody, Unky?
Well,
Hey, fog's lifting a little. You can see up here. Look, there's the choir and everybody.
where?
Across the ravine on the other hill. Half a mile away.
Oh, fine.
Uncle Mort, you and your shortcuts. Oh, I'm afraid Bertie will never make it in time to sing in the choir.
I'm sorry, Bertie. Very sorry.
Oh, they'll get along without Bertie.
We'll just have to watch things from up here. Hey, there's a lot of moving around. What are they getting ready to do?
They're going to have a pageant, Leroy, telling the story of Easter.
Yeah?
Here we are all dressed up and we can't be with the crowd. What an Easter.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, there was only a few on hand the first Easter when they saw the rock was rolled away.
Well, that's right, Bertie. We shouldn't forget that. I guess nobody there put much importance on fine clothes.
I guess they didn't. Listen, they're playing music.
They're getting ready to sing about the crucifixion.
Oh, Bertie, you were going to sing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you sing it for us, Bertie?
We'd like to hear it, Bertie. Would you?
I'd like to.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they my Lord? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there?
we found the true spirit of Easter.
Look, Unc, the sun's rising.
It's a new day.
It's the meaning of Easter. A new day and new hope for the world.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. What do you look for in a snack food? Good, pleasing flavor? Of course. But as guardian of your family's health, Mother, you want that snack food to be wholesome, too. Good for them. So get Velveeta, Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food, and let your family enjoy snacks that are delicious and nourishing. Velveeta is rich in important food values from milk that everyone needs. Remember, for perfect snacks, Velveeta, the quality cheese food made only by Kraft.
This is Gildersleeve again. Thanks to Bertie and the children, our little journey to the mountaintop for the Easter sunrise was a very wonderful experience. I hope that for each one of you, this Easter will bring renewed faith in the promise he gave to all of us. Renewed strength to follow his light through these days when the forces of darkness endeavor to confuse our path. Thank you all. Bertie, your song was lovely.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, William Sobronsky, Gene Bates, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
There are two kinds of delicious Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard, smooth and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. And whichever you prefer, remember, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Try it on cold sandwiches, hamburgers, frankfurters, and cold cuts. Enjoy the wonderful sauces you can make for hot meat and vegetable courses with Kraft prepared mustard. Keep both kinds on hand and keep the whole family happy. Get mild Kraft mustard and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added at your favorite food store.
Next, Groucho Marx presents You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Fibber McGee and Molly Show. Every weekday at this time, NBC brings you Fibber McGee and Molly transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. We'll join Fibber and Molly in just a moment. It's time Mr. and Mrs. America became fully aware of the shocking conditions that exist in our public school system. Our schools have faced a crisis for some time, and now that crisis is growing worse. It isn't a problem to be met by any certain group or groups. It's everyone's problem. You are a parent or a taxpayer or both. It is your right and the right of your children to have the schools in your community as good as they can possibly be. What about your child's school? Have there been any additions to the school facilities in the past 10 years to take care of the increased number of pupils? How about equipment and supplies in the classrooms? How about the teachers? Do they have a fair chance to fulfill their job? Or are they working with too many students and too little pay? Is your school system one that will attract the better young men and women in the community to become teachers? If the answer is no, then you and your community have a job to do. Your local PTA and other groups are working on this job. Join them. Help your children to get the education they need and deserve.
Well, McGee, I'm all ready to go. How do I look?
Well, you look swell, kiddo. Great. I hope the girls have a good time.
We will. Everyone says it's a wonderful show.
Mm-hmm.
You were so sweet to surprise us with tickets. Mabel and I were...
Yeah, but hadn't you better get going? If you're going to pick Mabel Toops up, the matinee starts at 1:30, and it's after that now.
No, it doesn't start till 2:30 lunch time.
2:30? You sure?
I phoned the theater to check.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. Just think. After all these years, I'm finally going to see South Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying to Mrs. Bradley the other day, she's dying to see it, too. And I was
Well,
saying...
you better tell me when you get back, Molly. You want to get started. There's nothing like getting there early, you know.
I guess you're right.
You don't want to miss any of it. Hate to have you miss Mario Hickenlooper singing Some Enchanted Evening. They say he's terrific.
Mario Hickenlooper?
He's the understudy, you know. The real star, Lionel Smedley, he's sick. Caught a cold.
Lionel Smedley?
Mm-hmm. This was a big break for Hickenlooper, by the way. The critics say he's going to be another Morton Downey.
Oh, this will be a great show, I know. Thanks again for getting us the tickets. I'll get my hat and run along.
Yeah, you do that. You go ahead. Have a good time. Don't worry about your kitchen. They won't spill anything.
What?
Oh, my gosh.
What's this about my kitchen? Who's going to spill what?
Nobody. Nobody's going to spill anything. That's what I say. I just don't want you to worry about anything. Now, you have fun.
Oh, well, we will. Do you like this hat with this outfit, or do you think I ought to wear the black one with the veil?
Oh, either one is fine. Fine. You look gorgeous, but... Oh, come in.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Is she gone yet?
Well, Wallace Wimple. Come in, Wally.
Did you suspect anything when you brought the show?
Yeah, mighty nice of you to drop in on I and my dear wife, Molly, like this, Wimp. Molly's the one standing over there putting on her hat. I'm glad to see you. Ain't we, Molly?
She's still here.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. Dearie, what's going on here?
Oh, Wimp dropped in. Yeah, Wimp. Come on in the living room, Wimp. What'd you come over so early for, stupid? My gosh.
I thought you said the matinee was 1:30.
It's at 2:30. You ruin everything.
Oh, goodness. If I had a gun, I'd shoot myself.
Well, you wait right there. I'll go get you one.
Sweetheart.
Yes, dear. Oh, she means you, Mr. McGee. Well, I'd better run along now. You two have things to talk about.
No, Mr. Wimple, you just come right in here and sit down.
Oh, I'd love to stay, Mrs. McGee, but I've got to see a man about my ears. I haven't been hearing numbers very well lately, and I'd better...
Sit down, Mr. Wimple.
Yes, sir.
Don't take your coat off, Molly. You'll miss the first act. Mabel's waiting for you to pick her up. You run along.
I'll go in a minute as soon as I find out a few things. Now, you lads just tell me what's going on here so I won't be wondering all through the matinee whether the house is afire. Stay right where you are. Don't get up, boys. I'll open the door.
It's me, McGee. Take some of these boxes so I can see where I'm going. That's it. Everything's here, and Hi, Molly. I thought you were at the matinee.
Good afternoon, Doctor. No, I'm still here.
Hi, fellas. Hi. Well, I gotta run along. I'll come back some other day. It's pretty busy this afternoon. Just wanted to say hello. Hello. Oh, come on, Molly. Give me back my satchel. I really have
I will in a moment. Now, first, Doctor, would you mind joining the panel of experts while I ask a few questions? Thank you.
What happened, McGee? I thought...
Now, gentlemen, if one of you would care to tell me just what...
Country boy!
Oh, no.
Just McGee. Here I am, Johnny, with them 12 dozen eggs you ordered. Where'll I put them?
Oh, just...
Pretty smart of you sending daughters to matinees so us elks could dye these Easter eggs in her kitchen for the kids' big egg hunt.
Oh, so that's what all right.
If she knew we were going to mess up her kitchen with... Oh, Susanna, don't you wait for me. I'm going to California, and that's where I'll be.
You'll come back here, Mr. Oldtimer. We may need one more pallbearer.
Now, Molly, I would have told you when you got back.
We won't hurt anything, my dear. It's for the children.
Elks Club Easter egg hunt, Molly. The Elks made me chairman of the egg dyeing committee this year, and we'll be careful.
Oh, dear. Well, it is a wonderful project and everything.
Yeah, well,
Okay, boys. Be careful, though, now.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Back to Wistful Vista in a minute. This is Ray Bolger. People have called me a dancing comedian. Well, whatever name there is for my work, I'm just another guy in show business. And people in show business are no different than any other people when it comes to cancer. This disease isn't particular or prejudiced.
It kills men, women, and children in all walks of life. And nobody knows who will be the next victim. And I want to do everything I can to help conquer cancer. But I need your help, and the help of your friends and neighbors. We've got to make sure that the American Cancer Society keeps on with its program of research, education, and service. They are fighting a battle that someday might save my life or yours. So please, give generously to the American Cancer Society. Mail your contribution now to Cancer, care of your local post office. I'd like to repeat that. That's Cancer, care of your local post office. Help in the battle. Cancer is everybody's business.
All ready now. Got them all lined up and ready to dip in the dye.
Oh, giddy at last.
Now, before we start slinging dye around here, remember what we promised Molly, men. When she gets back, this kitchen has got to be neat and clean like it is now. And above all, it's got to be the same color.
Look, will you stop worrying? Let's get started. Well, be very careful, Mr. McGee. Can I please have the blue dye? That's my favorite color, blue. Can I have
Sure,
the blue?
sure. You can have the blue. Here.
Oh, giddy. Hand me an egg. I'll get started.
Now, take it easy now. Wait till we all get set here, and we can run this thing like a production line. You got the... Oh, here, old-timer. You take the yellow dye. I'll take the red, and... Doc, you can
Wait a minute. I want the red.
You can have the green, Doc. Here.
Oh.
Now, everybody grab one of these little wire dippers.
That's a bilious-looking shade of green. Let me have the red.
Oh, for the... Now, you look here, Doc Gamble. I'm in charge here. I'm the guy they elected chairman of the Egg Committee.
Naturally, you got the head for it.
Right. And since I'm the egghead around... Oh, shut up and take the green.
I will not. I want the red.
You can't have the red, and that's fine.
Okay, I'll take my dye and go home.
Your dye?
I was the one who bought it. If you want to shell out $3 and buy some more, then...
Look, Doc, I don't like to throw my weight around, but you forced me to it. As chairman of the Egg Committee, I'm telling you who takes what color, and I say you take red.
All right.
My goodness, I'm glad that's settled. Well, let's get started. I'm just dying to start dying.
There's some little wire dippers on the sink, and I want everybody...
Oh, did you hear what I just said? I'm just dying to start dying.
Yeah.
You think I should send that to the Ladies' Home Journal? I wonder what they give me.
Probably a knot on your head, Wallace.
Yeah, we got enough eggs to worry about here without you laying any more for us, Wimp.
Hey, and speaking of knots on the head, fellas, let's not mess up daughter's kitchen. Ha!
Right. Now, look, men, this is a serious job we're doing here, and I want every man to do his part. The work we do today will make a lot of little children happy Easter Sunday when the eggs we color so beautifully are hidden in the park by our fellow elves to provide fun and merriment for those dear little children.
Come on, hand me an egg.
Knife down, get to work.
That's a real funny egg, Doc. Swell. Kids will love that one.
Yes, you're quite an artist, Dr. Gamble. Who is it? Moon Mullen?
You mean you don't recognize McGee?
What? If you guys want to see some real artwork, watch how I make a picture of Doc Gamble out of an egg by just drawing one line.
You mean you can make a picture of the doc here by just drawing one line on an egg, Johnny?
You watch closely. I take this big, fat egg here.
I might have known it would be a big
I
fat...
draw a line around the middle, like so. I dip it in this blue dye, and presto. There. Doc Gamble in a blue serge suit.
Well, I'll be jiggered. It's a stiff image. Touche, my boy, touche. That's pretty good. Hey, take a look at the time, fellas. It's almost 5 o'clock.
My gosh, already? Boy, I didn't realize it was that late.
My goodness. We'd better hurry and get these eggs finished, because if I don't get home in time to find out what Sweetie Face wants for dinner, she'll have me scrambled.
Yes, and I got a patient coming in at 6 o'clock. My nurse said someone called after I left.
So, if we get finished in time, you won't have to worry about that patient, Dr. Gamble.
What do you mean?
That was me.
Oh.
I didn't know how long this might take us. And you know how athletic Sweetie Face gets when I come home late, so I was just being prepared.
Look, you guys, I got an idea how we can get the rest of these eggs finished fast.
How, genius?
By cutting out the yakking and getting to work.
Oh.
Now, come on, let's get going here. And don't forget, we got to clean them spots off the walls and ceiling before Molly gets home, so...
Come on, man, let's get moving.
Yeah,
all right, come on.
And there they are, Molly, 11 dozen eggs, all dyed in beautiful colors for the Elks Easter hunt. Looks like a pot full of rainbow, don't it?
Oh, they're just beautiful, McGee. Your fellow elks ought to be very proud of the job you boys did. And I must admit, I didn't expect to see my kitchen look so nice and neat.
Well, with the right man running the job, all it takes is efficiency. We didn't spill a thing without wiping it up.
11 dozen eggs ought to make quite an egg hunt for... Say, didn't you have 12 dozen to start? I thought you said...
Oh, well, we had to eat, Tootsie. Every good foreman gives his men time out for lunch, you know. I scrambled up a dozen of them. Boy, were they good.
Well, it's lucky you thought to lay some aside for scrambling before you boil them all for Easter eggs.
Boiled them? Boiled them?
Of course. You did boil them before you dyed them, didn't you? McGee, you didn't forget.
Oh, boy, will this be a messy egg hunt.
Fibber and Molly will be right back. Hello, friends. This is Gordon McCurry speaking to you from the Railroad Hour show train at NBC in Hollywood. The crew is busy preparing for another Monday night journey into the land of music and make-believe. In fact, a whole series of melodic excursions that we sincerely hope you'll all enjoy. Together, we visited with song and story practically every country in the world and quite a few that will never show up on a map. We hope you'll continue to be regular passengers because we think we have some fascinating trips in store for you. In the coming weeks, why, we'll be trekking to the Canadian Rockies to rediscover one of our favorite heroines, the lovely Rose Marie. And during the spring months, we'll premiere some delightful original stories by Lawrence and Lee, set to familiar music from the world's storehouse of melody, new and old. We'll welcome to the show train such favorite guest stars as Mimi Benzel, Nadine Connor, Lucille Norman, and Dorothy Warnshow. So make it a point to be with us on the Railroad Hour every Monday night. The show train will pick you up at this NBC station. Be seeing you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodnight, Molly and I would like to wish you all a very happy Easter.
May this Easter Sunday be filled with blessings, and may it bring new hope to the hearts of all of us. New hope for a better understanding among all people, for more love of our fellow man.
And for everlasting peace to all mankind. Good night.
Good night, all.
NBC has brought you the Fibber McGee and Molly program, transcribed, with Bill Johnson as the old-timer and Wallace Limple and Arthur Q. Bryan as Dr. Gamble. This is John Wald urging you to tune in again Monday when one of his tall stories backfires on Mr. McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hear the Heart of the News with Jim Fleming tonight on the NBC Radio Network.
Lucky Strike presents the Jack Benny program. But first, here's an important message from the National Tobacco Tax Research Council. Smokers, next time you buy cigarettes, remember that over 800,000 tobacco farm families thank you for contributing to their support. And remember also that you help support your government, federal, state, and local. When you buy a pack of cigarettes, the federal government gets 8 cents. Most local and state governments get 3 or 4 cents more. That's better than a 50% tax on every cigarette you smoke. Yes, in buying cigarettes, over half your packs go for tax. And now, the Jack Benny program, transcribed, presented by Lucky Strike.
Do you be happy, go lucky, be happy, get better taste, be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Friends, tear and compare. See for yourself that Lucky's are made better to taste better. From a newly opened pack, take a cigarette made by any other manufacturer. Carefully tear a thin strip of paper straight down the seam from end to end and gently remove the tobacco. In tearing, be sure not to loosen or dig into the tobacco. Now, do exactly the same with the Lucky Strike. Then compare. Some cigarettes are too loosely packed. Some even fall apart. But look at that Lucky. See how it stays together, a perfect cylinder of fine, mild tobacco. Now, what does this mean to you as a smoker? It means exactly this. Because your Lucky is so round and firm and fully packed, you avoid annoying loose ends that spoil the taste, hot spots that burn harsh and dry. Because your Lucky has long strands of fresh, clean, good-tasting tobacco, it burns evenly, smokes smooth and mild. Yes, tear and compare. Prove to yourself that Lucky's are made better to taste better. Then make your next carton Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. gentlemen, it's Easter Sunday, and in cities all over the country, people are Easter parading. Right now in Beverly Hills, Jack is getting ready for his stroll down Wilshire Boulevard. At the moment, he's taking a shower, and Rochester is laying out his clothes.
Mr. Benny's been in that shower a long time, but he always stays in there pretty long. He'd get through sooner if he'd sing in the shower like everybody else instead of playing his violin. Well, I'd better lay out his clothes.
Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
I'm through with my shower. Bring me a nice big towel.
The biggest towel we have is the one you took from the Acme Plaza Hotel.
Well, bring me that.
I can't. It's still on the roller.
Well, bring me any towel. I'm cold.
Yes, sir. Here you are.
Thank you. Here, Rochester, hang my violin on the line. Professor LeBlanc is giving me a lesson tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You want your clothes now, boss?
Just my shorts. I'm going to do my exercises.
Here you are. You've really been doing your exercises regularly, haven't you?
That's right, Rochester. I want to look nice and trim on my TV show next Sunday. Well, I'll start with my bending exercises. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bend down, touch the floor. Lift my arms up in the air.
Bend down, pick up your hair.
Oh, yeah. Gee, it's hard to bend down like that. Oh, boy.
Now for your knee bends. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Down, up. Down, up. Down, up. Down, up, 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 up. Congratulations, boss, you made it.
Yeah, that's enough for today. I better get dressed. And I think I'll wear my blue suit today.
That ought to look swell. I'll get it for you.
Good. And Rochester, while I finish dressing, look through my closet, see if any of my clothes need to be sent to the cleaners.
Yes, sir. But what about this gray suit, boss?
I don't know. How does it look to you?
Well, it's got a gravy stain on the sleeve, salad dressing on the pants, butter on the cuff, coffee on the lapel, and meat sauce all over the vest.
It has?
Yeah, shall I send it to the cleaners or put it in the refrigerator?
Send it to the cleaners. But first, Rochester, go through the pockets and make sure I didn't leave any money in it.
Oh, boss, calm down.
Never mind, just do it. Well, I'm all dressed, Rochester. How do I look?
Fine, but you'd better put your glasses on.
Oh, I'm not going to wear my glasses today. They make me look old.
But you don't see too well without them.
Rochester, I just wear my glasses for reading. Now, let's see. I think I'll take I'll get it. Oh, hello, Phil.
I'm Mary.
Oh, happy Easter, Mary. Well, I'm ready to go walking if you are.
Okay, but aren't you going to say anything about my new dress?
Say, it's very pretty. Hey, Mary, isn't it kind of daring?
No, Jack, it's been the style for a couple of years. It's called a plunging neckline.
Oh.
All the girls will be wearing them today.
They will?
Yes.
Rochester, bring my glasses. Thanks. Come on, Mary. Let's go to the boulevard and stroll in the Easter parade. Gee, there are a lot of people on Wilshire Boulevard, aren't there, Mary?
Yeah, and everybody's dressed so nice.
Well, so are you. Gee, that new hat you're wearing is really cute. Where'd you get it?
The May Company. They give me all my clothes.
The May Company gives you your clothes? Gee, that's funny. You've been working for me for the past 15 years.
I know. They send me food, too.
Oh, well, that's nice of them.
Say, Jack, how far do you think we ought to walk?
Oh, I don't know. Probably as far as La Brea, and then we'll...
Oh, Jack, look who's coming this way. Isn't that one of the boys in your Beavers Club?
Oh, yes. Hello, Joey.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, Miss Livingston.
Hello, Joey. Say, that's a mighty cute rabbit you have there.
Yes, it's my Easter bunny. I'm taking him over to Mr. Benny's house to feed him.
To my house to feed him? Why?
My father says you've got more lettuce than anyone in Beverly Hills.
Did you just get this rabbit, Joey?
Oh, no. I got him last Easter. In fact, I had 2 of them.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
Just a minute, Jack. What happened to your other rabbit, Joey?
I don't know. He just disappeared around Christmas time.
Mary, let's go.
Joey, exactly when did your other rabbit disappear?
It was, December the 23rd.
Well, thanks for telling me. Goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Miss Livingston. Goodbye, Mr. Bay.
Goodbye. You know, Mary...
Oh, quiet. You and your mink Christmas presents.
That was just a coincidence. I happened to get a mink with pink eyes. Oh, say, Mary, look at that billboard. Opening April 21st at the Philharmonic, Julie Garland and her Variety Review. You know, Mary, strolling down the boulevard today reminds me of that picture we saw a couple of years ago with Judy and Fred Astaire.
Oh, you mean Easter Parade?
Yeah, that's the one. Remember at the start of the picture when Fred was walking along Fifth Avenue singing that song and the people answered him? How did that song go again?
Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue. And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you. Isn't it nice, Mary? They all answered us, just like they did in the picture.
Yeah.
Say, Mary, look. There's Phil Harris standing on the corner.
Are you sure?
Well, he's standing, but I think it's him. Yes, it is.
You're right. Hello, Phil.
Hiya, Livy, you little Easter bunny. Who's that egg you got with you?
Darn it, I forgot to take off my bathing cap. Say, Phil, Mary and I are strolling down Wilshire. Want to join us?
No, Jackson, no. The Chamber of Commerce wants me to stand here till another bus comes by.
Another bus?
Yeah, I'm the grand finale of the 95-cent tour.
What?
Them out-of-towners go nuts.
Oh, brother.
Phil, aren't you a little conceited?
Nah. Conceit is when you think you got it and you ain't.
Phil, and you've got it?
Well, I must have, Jackson. They want me to run for president on the prohibition ticket.
Mary, you talk to him, will you? I can't.
Look, Phil, Jack and
Step back, Libby. Here comes another bus load of tourists. I got to take a bow.
Phil, Jack and I are going for a walk. Do you want to join us or not?
I'd love to, Mary, but some of my musicians are going to pick me up. They're having a little card game, and they need a fifth for bridge.
Phil, you mean a fourth for bridge?
No, a fifth. They play and I pour. Oh, Harris, you can always depend on a feed line from that gray-haired gentleman with the button shoe.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
All right. So long, Phil.
Hey, so long, Livy. See you later.
Come on, dollface. We got a long way to walk yet. Walking with you side by side, Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Fills my chest with so much pride, Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to sing as you stroll the avenue.
And you greet all the friends you meet, Happy Easter to you. Gosh, what perfect weather. Spring, the skies are clear, the flowers are blooming, the sun is shining. Hey, look who's here, my violin teacher.
Bonjour, Monsieur Benny.
Well, Professor LeBlanc, what a surprise running into you.
Hello, Professor.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Well, Professor, you certainly look nice today. Is that a new Easter suit you're wearing?
Mademoiselle,
I am a poor violin teacher. I cannot afford to buy new suits.
Well, what do you do with the money I pay you for my violin lessons?
I buy sleeping pills.
Oh, are they any good?
No. After a few days, I wake up.
Oh, well, it was nice seeing you, Professor. And don't forget you're giving me a violin lesson tomorrow.
I will not forget. I will tie a string around my finger.
Good, good.
Better I should tie a rope around my neck.
What?
Goodbye, Monsieur Benny.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Mary, I can't understand why he hates to give me violin lessons.
I can't understand it either. You play beautifully.
Well, Huh? Mary, that was sweet. What made you say that?
Oh, I don't know. Just an impulse. Yesterday, I kicked a cop in the pants.
Sometimes you have to let yourself go, you know. Anyway, Mary, we're certainly running into a lot of people we know, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yum bum 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 ba bum ba bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yum bum 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 ba bum ba bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue. And you greet all the friends you meet. Happy Easter to you.
You know, Gertrude, it's nice getting a day off. It sure is, Mabel.
It's swell getting away from that CBS switchboard.
Yeah. Oh, Gertrude, I feel so elegant walking in the Easter parade. How do you feel?
My feet are killing me. But it's my own fault for buying such small shoes.
Well, what size did you get?
9.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
What's the matter?
Getting your foot in a size 9 shoe is like docking the Queen Mary in a Dixie cup.
Well, look who's talking. Get a load of your shoes.
They're not so big.
They're not. Last year, when we went on our vacation, every hotel we stopped at pasted labels on them.
Well, it's a natural mistake because my shoes are genuine cowhide.
Cowhide?
Yeah.
From the way your toes stick out, it looks like milking time.
Gertrude, the next time you talk to me like that,
Oh, hey, Mabel, look. Here comes Jack Benny.
Yeah. And look who's with him. Mary Livingston.
Mabel, they're coming toward us.
Yum bum 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 ba bum ba bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yum dum dum da da dum ba bum. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Well, Don Wilson.
Hello, Don.
Hello, Mary.
Don, I'm glad I ran into you. You know that story about me in the current issue of Radio Television Mirror?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that same reporter came back to see me yesterday, and he wanted to get some information about you.
Oh, really, Jack?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jack, it's nice of you to tell me this. I feel flattered. What the reporter want to know?
Well, he wanted to know different things, like what you eat for breakfast, what you eat for lunch, what you eat for dinner, what you have for dessert, what you have after dessert, what you eat between meals, what you eat before going to bed at night, all those different things.
Well, that's nice, Jack, but didn't he want to know anything about my work on your program?
Yes, he did, Don. He thought that my last couple of shows weren't quite as funny as usual. He wanted to know if you ate one of my writers.
Oh, Jack, I know you're kidding, but I wish you'd stop with that talk. You're always giving everybody the impression I'm fat.
All right, Don, I'll stop joking about your size.
Say, Don, would you like to walk down Wilshire Boulevard with us?
Oh, I'd love to, Mary, but I'm on the other side of the street.
Oh, yes. Lift your stomach, Don. Here comes a bus. See you later. Come on, Mary. Bum 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 bum. Say, Mary, have you got a cigarette?
Oh, sure, Jack. I have some right here. Oh, gee, I forgot to put them in my purse.
Well, here's the drugstore. I'll step in and get some.
Okay.
Oh, clerk.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Razor shaving cream, Kleenex.
No. I'd like to buy some...
Magazines, aspirin, sunglasses, wife savers.
No. All I want is...
Alka-Seltzer, Tootsie Rolls, whiting paper.
I can't go into one store. Hold it, mister, hold it. As long as you're guessing and playing games, I'll give you a hint as to what I want. Now, what do you do that relaxes you and gives you pleasure?
I take off my girdle. What do you do?
Well, if you must know, I smoke a Lucky Strike.
Well, why didn't you say so? You want a pack of Lucky Strikes?
Yeah.
Here you are.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Don't go yet.
Huh?
Aren't you going to open your pack of Luckies here?
Well, if you want me to, certainly. There you are. Goodbye.
Not yet.
Oh.
Aren't you going to take out a Wookie and tear it down the center?
But...
I make all my customers do it.
Well, okay. There.
See how the tobacco holds together? No loose ends. No room for air spaces. Hot spots that burn harsh and dry. Wookies are made from long strands of fresh, clean, good-tasting tobacco. That's why Lucky Strikes are my favorite brand.
Well, good. And thank you for showing me. Happy Easter.
Jack, you got the cigarettes?
Yes. Come on, Mary. Let's keep walking.
Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
My, oh, me, there's so much to see as you stroll the avenue.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Well, Mr. Kitzel. Mr. Kitzel, it's nice running into you today.
Usual pleasure, Mr. Benny. And how are you, Miss Livingston?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Mr. Kitzel, you certainly look nice in those striped pants, cutaway coat, and top hat.
Thank
it's
you.
just right for Easter.
Oh, thank you. But you know, I'm also wearing it for sentimental reasons.
Oh.
This is the suit in what I got married.
Oh, when you got married?
Yeah.
Gee, that must have been about 20 years ago.
Yeah, funny how a little thing like that sticks with you.
Yes.
Oh, my, I'll never forget that ceremony. When they said, if anyone has any objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yes?
A voice from the back hollered, don't marry her.
Oh, my goodness, who was it?
Me, I'm a ventriloquist.
Oh, Mr. Kitzel, you're joking.
Unfortunately.
Well, Mr. Kitzel, it was a pleasure running into you on Easter, but we've got to be moving along.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Kitzel.
Goodbye.
You know, Mary, it's always nice running into Mr. Kitzel. I don't know, he seems so cheerful and...
Bun. Bun.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Me?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mary. Yes?
What are you doing?
We're just strolling along in the Easter parade.
How far you going?
To La Brea.
That's fine.
What?
You said you was going to La Brea, and I said that's fine.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't you going to try to talk me out of it?
Not me. This is my day off.
Oh.
Well, happy Easter.
Well, same to you. Same to you. Come on, Mary.
What happened?
Nothing. It's all right. We can go to La Brea. Come on.
Never saw such a lovely day. Happy Easter. It's such fun just to nod and say Happy Easter.
And you greet all the friends you meet.
Happy Easter to you.
Dennis!
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mary.
Hey, Dennis, you having a nice Easter?
Oh, sure. I colored Easter eggs all morning, and then I hid them.
Uh-huh.
And then I told my mother to go look for them.
Ooh, that must have been fun.
Oh, no, it was a mess. The eggs splattered all over my mother's new dress, her 2 nightgowns, and 6 of my father's shirts.
Well, Dennis, where'd you hide the eggs?
In the washing machine.
In the washing machine?
Yeah, it was awful.
Dennis, I don't understand this. Colored Easter eggs shouldn't splatter. How long did you boil them?
Oh, boiled them!
Mary, you take them, will you? I'm still a little sick from Phil.
Dennis, Jack and I are walking down as far as La Brea. Would you like to join us?
Sure, I'm not stuck up.
Well, that's mighty decent of you. And by the way, Dennis, be sure you're not late for rehearsals for my television show.
I won't. And my mother said that it's okay for me to appear on your TV program Sunday if you give me proper credit at the end.
What do you mean, proper credit?
Well, at the end of the program, she wants you to say, Dennis Day may also be seen on his own television show. You may buy his latest recording, I Hear a Rhapsody, at all music stores. He will soon be seen in 20th Century Fox picture, The Girl Next Door, and take your judo lessons from Yamashita.
Dennis, who in the world is Yamashita?
Oh, that's my mother's business name.
Say, Dennis, while we're walking along, why don't you sing something?
Well, do you think it'll be all right? I mean, here on the street?
Well, sure. Everybody feels good today. It's Easter. They're all singing.
Okay. In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when they look you over, I'll be the proudest fellow in the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us, and you'll find that you're in the rotogravure. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us, and you'll find that you're in the rotogravure. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Friends, you can tear and compare and see with your own eyes how Lucky's are made better to taste better. From a newly opened pack, take a cigarette made by any other manufacturer. Carefully tear a thin strip of paper straight down the seam from end to end and gently remove the tobacco. In tearing, be sure not to loosen or dig into the tobacco. Now, do exactly the same with the Lucky Strike. Then compare. You'll see some cigarettes are so loosely packed they fall apart. Others have air spaces, hot spots that burn harsh and dry. But you won't find that in a Lucky. Look at that perfect cylinder of fine, mild tobacco, so free of annoying loose ends that spoil the taste. Notice those long strands of fresh, clean, good-tasting tobacco, so firmly packed to smoke smooth and even, giving you a milder, better-tasting cigarette. Yes, friends, tear and compare. Prove to yourself that Lucky's are made better to taste better. Then make your next carton Lucky Strike.
Bung, 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 be happy, go Lucky Strike today.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday night, immediately after my radio show, I will do my 5th television program of the season. My guest stars will be Dennis Day, Rochester, and one of the world's greatest violinists, Mr. Isaac Stern. I will also play a violin solo. That's funny. They told me there would be applause here. Oh, well, happy Easter, folks.
The Jack Benny program is brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. This is Don Wilson reminding you to listen to Your Hit Parade with Guy Lombardo every Thursday night, presented by Lucky Strike. Consult your newspaper for time and station. The Jack Benny program has been selected as one of the programs to be heard by our armed forces overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Stay tuned for the Amos and Andy Show, which follows immediately.
Transcribed, this is the CBS Radio Network.
Good morning, McGee. Your eggs will be ready in just a minute.
No rush, Molly. And while I'm waiting, may I be the very first to wish you a happy and prosperous YMCA week.
I didn't even know this was it.
Oh, this is it, all right. I keep up on the doings at the Y, you know. You know, that was the outfit that handed out donuts to us servicemen in World War I, them the Salvation Army. I'll never forget that gesture, because those donuts were the beginning of all my stomach trouble in later years.
Well, eating YMCA donuts 40 years ago is hardly a reason for keeping up with Y activities now, is it?
Oh, I had a lot more to do with the organization than that. In my younger days, I played a lot of basketball at the Y, back in Peoria.
Don't be sterling, McGee. Basketball hadn't even been invented in your younger days.
Why, it most absurdly had. In fact, I was the star of the Y team one year. I and a guy by the name of Tall Paul Small. I'll never forget our big game that year because it ended in a free-throw. We had the ball and went into a stall, me and Tall Paul. Well, the other team set up a squall about the stall, and a Paul fell over the hall. One of them tried to knock Paul into the wall and grabbed the ball. Well, Small had the gall to fall on the ball, and that was the call for the free-for-all. The whole thing wound up with me and Tall Paul Small getting banished from the hall and not being allowed to play ball until the team call went out the following fall.
So, in other words, you claim you were an athlete in your younger days.
One of the best. And what's more, I'm going to have a chance to be one again. There's a story in today's paper about a new club that the YMCA and the YWCA are opening up for married couples like us.
Oh, really?
I think we ought to join and use the facilities to keep in shape.
Oh, I don't know about that, McGee. The Y in YMCA stands for young, you know, and that would seem to leave us out right there.
Shucks, Molly, we could still run rings around some of them younger couples. I can see me in the pool now, darting around underwater like a dolphin, doing all those fancy dives off the high board.
Don't be ridiculous, McGee. You sink.
Well, I don't know why I should. I just had my bath and put on clean clothes.
What I mean is, you don't know how to swim very well.
Well, maybe I'll go in for weightlifting then.
See, that's an idea. You used to do pretty well with the dumbbells before we were married.
If you're referring to Fern Paul and Sophie Untermeyer, they looked a lot dumber than they really were.
McGee, I'm talking about weightlifting equipment.
Oh. Well, I bet I could still lift a lot more than men half my age.
Probably so, if you could see over your paunch to find the weights.
You can jest if you want to, Molly. Be right. But physical fitness is important. And this new Y Club for married couples should be just the thing for us.
Well, maybe so, if we just eased into the activities.
I'm thinking in terms of working out on the weights, then a session with the medicine ball,
couple of fast games of ping pong, a little handball, hard swim, and a shower.
It does sound inviting. Where are you going now to register our names for the club?
Not right now, kiddo. I'm talking about all that exercise has worn me out. I think I'll take a nap before I do anything.
You know, McGee, I just can't get over how nice it is of the YMCA to open its facilities to married couples on one night a week like this.
Yeah, and I can't hardly wait to take advantage of the opportunity for keeping physically fit. Just you watch me in that pool, boy. I'll be like a dolphin.
Dolphins go right to the bottom.
Well, so will I. I don't know how to swim.
Well, for heaven's sake, stay in the shallow water then, will you?
I'm just kidding, Molly. I know how to swim. Why would I have a snappy bathing suit like this elsewise?
Is that a bathing suit? I thought it was your winter underwear. It has long sleeves.
Well, that was the style when I bought this suit. I couldn't see any point in squandering money on a new one when this one is still perfectly good. Now, just let me grab my water wings here, and I'm all set.
Promise me you won't dive off the high board, McGee. You remember what happened that time at Dugan's Lake? You cleared the end of the board, but your swimming trunks didn't.
Yeah, it got pretty monotonous staying there in the water until dark, too. Well, here's the pool, kiddo. Plunge in.
Well, what about you? I thought you couldn't wait to get in the water.
Oh, I figured if you went in first, you could tell me how cold it is.
Well, in this case, dearie, it's going to be gentlemen first. So you go right ahead.
Molly, the way you're acting, I'll bet you think I'm afraid.
That's right, McGee. That's exactly what I think.
Well, you're wrong as 8 rabbits, kiddo. I'm going to stick my whole big toe in at once without even testing the water first. Notice how I stride confidently to the edge of the pool and... Ooh!
Is it cold?
Of course not. At least not for somebody as hardy as me. However, I think I'll foreclose the pleasure of going in this evening. I've had a little sniffle today.
McGee, you're malingering.
Well, whatever that is, it beats swimming, especially in a small pool like this. Why, I couldn't even do my fancy dives in here.
I never thought I'd see the day when you'd be so cowardly.
Molly, I'm not cowardly. And if I've got to go in the water to prove it to you, I will. Of course, this will only be as a last resort.
Well, I'll never believe you aren't afraid until you jump in.
Oh, all right. Here goes. Or as them paratroopers used to yell when they jumped out, Jerry Colonna.
McGee, it's your head that's supposed to come up to the surface, not your feet.
I've already swallowed half the water in the pool, and there's not going to be room in my gullet for the other half.
Give me your hand, and I'll pull you out.
Oh, gee, thanks, Molly. I was hunting for my pass key to the pearly gates there for a minute.
Well, I don't know why in the world you told me you could swim. You sank like a rock.
Well, I used to be able to swim. But believe me, the water they're putting in swimming pools these days is not like the stuff we used to get.
I'm having a wonderful time, McGee. I'm so glad the YMCA decided to set one night a week aside for married couples.
Yeah, all this exercise is good for a person. I can feel my corpuscles doing a buck and wing right now.
Well, I think I'll go downstairs for a few minutes and check on the new knitting class they're setting up. Do you want to come with me?
No. The only thing I know how to knit is my eyebrows. I'll stay here in the gym and work out with the medicine ball.
Okay, dearie. I'll be back soon.
Ah, there goes the good kid. Well, now, see. What is it you do with the medicine ball? I guess you just pick it up and swing it around. Oh, boy. They're sure making these things heavier than they used to.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, Teeny. How come you're wandering around the Y this wintry Wednesday?
I'm entered in the big topsy tournament down on the second floor, Betcha.
Oh, is that right? How are you making out?
We haven't begun the match play yet. I'm seeded fourth. That means there's 3 better poxy players in the tournament than me.
Oh. Maybe you'll pull a big upset and win, Fitz.
Well, Tips is the favorite, I betcha.
He is, huh?
Hmm?
I say he is, eh?
Yes, son.
The favorite.
Who is?
Willie, too.
He's the favorite.
That's what I heard.
Hmm?
I said, that's what I heard.
Heard what?
About Willie, too.
What about him?
He's the favorite.
I know it.
Well, I guess we've pretty well exhausted that subject. Are you taking part in any other activities here at the Y, sis?
I sure am, I betcha. I come down here every Tuesday for the children's story group. Miss Whipplecourt from the library comes down and reads stories to us little illiterate children.
Oh, well, now, you're not really illiterate, Teeny. You just can't read.
That's what I mean.
Well, you'll be reading one of these days.
I sure hope so. Then I can stop wasting so much time with Potsy.
Incidentally, sis, what brought you up here to the gym? All of your activities are down on the other floor.
Well, one of the other kids told me there was something real funny going on up here, but I can't find it.
Something really funny going on up here, eh? Like what, for instance?
Well, they said there was a man with a great big stomach dressed in gym shorts trying to bend over and pick up a medicine ball. But I don't see him. You're the only person around here, aren't you? So long.
He's playing putt, huh?
Don't you think it's about time we got dressed and went home, McGee?
Oh, gee whiz. The YMCA is only open to married couples one night a week, and I got to store up enough exercise to last me till next time.
You'll probably be so stiff after tonight there won't be a next time.
Stuff and nonsense, Molly. I'm in better shape now than I was when we got married.
Well, I should hope so. At the time we got married, you couldn't even pass the physical to buy fire insurance.
No, they were more strict about those things in those days. But if you don't think I'm replete with physical fitness now, just come in and watch me work out on the weights for a while.
How could you possibly work out on the weights, McGee?
What?
It's all you can do to lift your fork at the dinner table when you really get it loaded.
For lifting a fork, you only use one hand. But weights are different. Now then, you see this dumbbell here?
McGee, that's a terrible thing to say about yourself.
Oh, cut it out. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this big weight here with the knobs on either end of it. You know that. You call that a dumbbell.
It certainly is a huge thing. How much would you say that weighed?
100 pounds. And I'm going to hoist it clear over my head. Of course, that's just as a starter. I plan to add more weight as time goes on.
McGee, if you add any more weight, you won't be able to get into your clothes at all.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Molly, I don't mean I'm going to add more weight to me. I mean I'm going to train myself to lift heavier weights. Now stand back and let me show you the technique here. You see? You grab the thing down by the knobs.
You didn't even budge it off the floor.
Some joker must have glued it down. Well, I'll try a different system. Here we go. You get it here, and then twist your hands around and bring it up to your chest. That's the breech position. Then one big thrust, and there she is.
Say, you did get it clear over your head.
It takes a lot of concentration and willpower to do this, you know. Mind over matter.
I'm awful proud of you, McGee. You better put it down now. You're getting red in the face. McGee, what's wrong? Put it down.
I just remembered something. I don't know how to put it down. There's a special way to do that, and I forgot what it is.
Well, can't you drop it?
And have 100 pounds come cracking down on my cranium. No thanks.
Well, you can't just stand there holding it over your head.
I know that. My arms are getting as numb as a couple of frozen fish sticks. What am I going to do?
Well, the gym instructor isn't in his office, or I'd go get him.
I never expected to go this way, Molly. Hit on the head by a dumbbell. Now, you know the way I want it. You get the house and the money, and Uncle Dennis can have my gold watch.
Now, McGee, we're not going to give you up as a lost case. Here, see if you can hand the weight over to me.
It'll break your arm when I do, Molly, but I got to get rid of it. Things are going black.
Just a little farther. There. That's fine. I've got it. Now, I'll just set it down on the floor.
Good gosh, Molly, how'd you do that?
McGee, I haven't spent all these years moving the furniture around on cleaning day for nothing. Now, if you have the strength, put on your clothes and we'll go home.
NBC presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, the National Broadcasting Company brings you a new adventure of the Great Gildersleeve, written by Virginia Safford Lynn.
Say, Unc, I was just thinking.
Well, don't.
Well, that's the way the bunny hugs.
How did a bunny get into this?
I was thinking about Easter.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
Then you let me?
Let you what?
I was hoping you'd let me go to the Easter sunrise services.
Well, we'll all go. We always go. Bertie sings in the choir.
Well, thanks for letting me stay up all night Saturday so we'll get a good early start.
Why, we've never missed a sunrise service. Stay up all night? Who said anything about staying up all night?
I did.
Leroy, we go through this every year. What's so fascinating about staying up all night? Night's just like daytime, except it's dark.
But If I stay up all night, nobody will oversleep.
No one's going to oversleep.
Unc, I'm not getting through to you. The only way we can be sure nobody will oversleep is for me to stay up all night.
Ah, there's one other way.
What other way?
Well, in this age of automation, there's a new mechanical invention, a startling new device that'll take care of it.
No kidding. What invention is that, Unc?
The alarm clock.
In just 60 seconds, we'll hear what's going on in Summerfield. But first, hear this.
This is Clifton Fadiman speaking. Won't you join me every Thursday for Conversation, a program of civilized talk for civilized people about civilized matters? Our topics range from love to crime, from good books to good parties, from the problems of being an actor to the problems of being retired. And our conversationalists range from comedians to philosophers. They include actors, teachers, poets, scientists, prison wardens, and even a quiz champion. Conversation has won many awards in the course of its radio career, but more important, it's won a host of friends. To these old friends, and we hope many new ones, we're happy to announce that Conversation can once again be heard every Thursday over most of these stations. Watch your daily paper for the exact hour. For good talk on subjects you'd like to hear discussed by people you'd like to hear from, join us on Conversation every Thursday.
Bertie, have you seen the... Well, what's this? Millinery shop?
I'm making a new Easter bonnet for my little niece.
Oh, fine. How are you, Judy?
Just fine, thank you. I guess this is going to be just about the prettiest Easter hat anybody ever saw.
Yeah, and I'll bet you'll be about the prettiest little girl in the Easter parade.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Now, don't mix up them ribbons, Judy. I got 'em measured off. Did you want to ask me something, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, yes, Bertie. I was looking for the advertising section of the morning paper.
I must have used it to make a collar pattern for the new dress I'm making. Was it something important?
Oh, no, Bertie. Hogan Brothers was having a special Easter sale on suits, and I thought I'd give myself a treat. But I can stop in there tomorrow.
Hey, I got some swell ones for Mr. Petey. Oh, hi, Unc.
Well, my boy, I wondered where you were.
Well, I went down to get some dyes and stencils for Easter eggs. Oh, Judy, I got these flowers and bunnies for you.
Thank you, Leroy. Aren't they cute?
Oh, that was real nice of you, Leroy. I'll hard-boil the eggs for you. But I expect you and Judy will have to attend to the coloring, because I got to help collect Easter lilies and decorate for the services. And we got several choir practices, too.
Oh, sure. Judy and I can do all this stuff.
Well, I'll go finish my evening paper.
Yeah, well, I'll put the stencils in a dry place, like the sideboard.
Well, dinner will be before very long, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Smells mighty good, Bertie.
Unc, by the way, what am I going to do about my new slacks? The pants are yay long. I'm not going to grow that much between now and Easter. With all Bertie's got to do, I hate to ask her. What'll I do?
Oh, don't worry. Bertie's never too busy to find time to do things for us.
Yeah, that's why I hate to bother her. Oh, say, Unc, before I forget it, where in the Bible will I find the 23rd Psalm?
Well, it should be in the book of... why do you want it?
I want a quote from it in my Sunday school paper for Easter.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that later.
You know where to find it, don't you?
Oh, yes, don't worry. I'll have it for you.
Thanks, Unc. I know I can count on you.
Do I know where it is in the Bible? Well, do I? I better look it up before Leroy finds me out. Well, where is our Bible? It's always kept right here. Oh, this is terrible. And at Easter time, too. Well, I guess there's just one thing to do. Find an authority on the subject. And I can't think of anyone better than our minister, Dr. Horton. Yeah, that's a good idea. Always enjoy talking to him anyway.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve, come in.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Horton.
How nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm afraid it's been a long time.
Well, that depends on how you measure time. If your yardstick's the pleasure of seeing a friend, then it has been a long time. But if it's from a sensorial viewpoint, you'll have to be the judge because I haven't kept track.
Yeah, it's nice of you to put it that way.
Well, sit down, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, thank you. Say, you've redone your study, haven't you?
Yes, indeed. I think it makes the room more spacious, don't you?
Yeah, I like it very much. Did you do it just recently?
9 months ago.
Oh. Yeah, that does make it a long time since I dropped in from any viewpoint.
Well, in any case, I'm glad you came. Oh, help yourself to those special Easter cookies my sister made today.
Yeah, thank you. They are good.
When my sister comes back from dyeing Easter eggs for the kids across the street, you be sure and tell her that.
Yeah, I certainly will. Well, then, you don't think these things are too frivolous? Easter eggs and cookies and things like that, I mean.
Well, why should they be frivolous?
Well, one of the things that brought me here was a feeling that people are getting so they take Easter rather lightly.
Well, now, you must have a special reason for saying that.
Yes, I do. There seems to be too much emphasis put on material things. New suits, Easter bonnets.
Well, it all goes in together more or less. Easter bonnets and new clothes are sort of symbolic, the spirit of renewal that's part of Easter.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The opening of buds, the blossoming of trees, green stalks thrusting up through the rich brown soil, the reawakening of the earth, giving promise of life, miracles before our very eyes.
Yeah.
So what harm could there possibly be in a new Easter bonnet?
Well, it's wonderful for you to look at it that way. I'm almost ashamed to tell you the real reason I came to see you.
Oh?
You see, Leroy asked where to find the 23rd Psalm, and I couldn't tell him.
Well, if you'd stop to think, you'd have realized it's the book of Psalms, and, of course, it's the 23rd one.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I wasn't thinking, was I? But, I didn't know whether it was the New Testament or the Old.
Couldn't you have looked?
Well, I couldn't find our Bible. That's what really upset me.
Did you ask Leroy?
Well, I was a little embarrassed.
Well, the chances are that Leroy's been using it for his paper.
Say, I never thought of that. It's probably up in his room.
Yes, the whole thing isn't too alarming. There are a great many people here in Summerfield who would have the very same trouble.
Yeah, I suppose so. But what do people do when their children ask questions like this?
It's more alarming when the children don't ask.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
The children are curious and interested enough to seek knowledge. There's no cause for alarm.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about that before. But I don't think we do enough talking about religious matters, especially with the young folks. Oh, I know the Sunday schools do a good job, but that's only 1 hour a week.
Yes, that's true. We don't have very much time for discussion.
Dr. Horton, I've got an idea. I'm going to set aside one evening this week to discuss these matters with Leroy. Yeah, and his little friends, if they want to come.
Well, I think that's a fine idea.
This is kind of new to me. I don't know quite where I'm going. But as they say, a 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. And by George, I'm going to take that step.
In just a moment, we'll return to the Great Gildersleeve.
Hello, this is Danny Kaye. A few months ago, I returned from a trip around the world. And the purpose of that trip was my favorite subject, children. Sick children who won't survive unless they get help. I stopped to visit with these kids, to talk to them, get to know them. And believe me, folks, they need a hand. Badly. That's the picture abroad. And here at home, well, there are thousands of other boys and girls I want to talk to you about. Youngsters who also need our aid. Each year, come Easter season, your local Easter Seal Society asks you to provide care and treatment for the crippled children in your community. The greatest wish these kids have is to walk and talk and live normal lives just like any other children. Give them that chance by supporting Easter Seals. Send in your return envelope or address a gift to Crippled Children, care of your local post office. Do it today.
Mr. Gildersleeve, just exactly what are you trying to do?
Well, I know what I'm trying to do, Peavy, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it.
Well, that's something new for you.
No, Peavy. Yeah, I'm glad you could come, though. The youngsters have a lot of respect for you, and maybe together we can get across the importance and meaning of Easter. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, I'll help all I can.
Good. Let's go see how they're coming along.
Miss Gildersleeve, you think we should move the organ back a little?
Well, perhaps we might try it.
I think it should be closer to the wall. After all, your living room isn't too big, and you are.
Why don't we push the davenport back, too? Then we can put a couple of chairs right here. And, look, you can sit right here facing everybody, and that way we'll be sort of a half circle in front of you. Wouldn't that be nice?
It seems to me the extra chairs should be over here instead.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, just a minute, Judy. Well, why don't we try it and see?
Okay, come on, Piggy. Give me a hand.
Wait till I get hold of the other end.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Just a second, Judy. Now, don't move it too much. That's enough. That's it.
Mr. Gildersleeve, could I ask a question?
Oh, yes, Judy. I'm sorry. What is it?
Where do you want me to put these Easter lilies?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Now, let's see. Where shall we...
It seems to me the nice place for them would be on top of the organ.
Oh, yes, then everybody can see them.
I don't seem to remember ever seeing this organ before.
Bertie rented it just for this special occasion. Wasn't that keen? Now, let's move that chair a little more, Piggy.
Which way?
Yeah, it was such a nice thing for Bertie to do.
Well, music's always part of Easter.
Well, even though this is just for the children, I must say I'm glad you didn't leave me out.
I think it's a real keen idea, and I think we ought to do it once a week.
Well, let's see how we come along, shall we?
Want me to answer it, Unc?
No, thanks. I think I'd better go.
Bertie, if we move the organ a little more at an angle, we can all see the music right over your shoulder.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, Mr. Peavy.
Come on, Piggy, give me a hand here.
Well, good evening, Dr. Horton. Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve. Hope I'm not too early.
No, just exactly right. Have your hat and coat?
Yes, thank you. I probably didn't need them, but those spring nights do get a little chilly.
Yeah. Well, if you come on into the living room. Of course, it's going to be informal because it's rather impromptu.
Those are always the things that are the nicest.
Yeah, I think you know everyone here. There's Bertie and
Bertie.
her little niece, and Mr. Peavy and Leroy and his friend Piggy Banks.
Hi, Dr. Horton.
Delighted to see all of you.
Yeah, now, shall we all be seated? Oh, Dr. Horton, would you like to sit over
this
here?
will do very nicely, thank you.
Oh, you are really the one who should be doing this.
No, indeed, Mr. Gildersleeve. This was your own idea, and you're the one to do it. Tonight, I'm merely a guest and a very interested listener.
Well, thanks very much.
All right, Unc, I think we're all ready now.
Well, I've been so intent on doing this, I didn't stop to consider just how I was going to do it. I don't know where to begin.
Well, if I might make a suggestion...
No, please do.
A nice hymn always gets things off to a good start.
Yeah, of course. That's what we have the organ for. Yeah, how about it, Bertie?
I'm ready, Mr. Gildersleeve, and here's one I'm sure we all know.
Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ, the royal master, leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before.
Unc, I'd like to ask something.
You all right? What is it, Leroy?
Well, something I can never get straight. When is Easter? I mean, one year it's one day, and the next year it comes on a different date. Why is that?
And I must admit that I never get it quite straight myself.
I've never understood it all.
No, I never could figure it out.
Could you tell us about that first, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, sure. I had to look it up, but I know now. It goes back to very early times. The date of its observance was fixed at the Council of Nicaea, and it's the first Sunday after the full moon, occurring on or next after the 21st of March.
Oh, so that's it.
That's it. Now, here's another question for you. Where does the word Easter come from?
Gee, I don't know.
Well, Dr. Horton, do you suppose you could tell us?
Yes, the name was derived from an old Saxon feast day. It signifies joy because of the earlier rising of the sun and the beginning of new life on the earth. Throughout the world, even though people of different countries and races have varied ways of celebrating, all their traditions and rituals point to the same thing, an expression of faith in the glory of a new life.
You know, it's wonderful to realize that the entire world joins in praise and joy. And it all becomes part of the story of Easter. And now, I'd like to tell you the story of the crucifixion. If you have any questions, you stop me.
We will, Unc. Go ahead.
Well, after the Last Supper, you know the story of that.
Oh, sure.
Well, after that, Jesus was arrested, as he said he would be. And he was tied and bound and brought before a meeting of the council of chief priests and judges and elders and scribes. They were in session to decide what to do with this man, who they felt was arousing the people and shaking their authority. Well, many witnesses accused him of many things. He'd healed the sick, he'd cured the blind, but there was no wrong in these things. Then what crime could they find him guilty of so that they might destroy this menace to their hold on the people? So they asked, "Art thou the Son of God?" And Jesus answered, "I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power." Well, to them this was blasphemy and sufficient cause for his destruction. So they led him before Pilate.
I know Pilate was the Roman governor, but why did they take Jesus to him?
Well, Judy, you see, the Romans were the rulers of the land at that time. And Pilate was the one who would have to pass judgment on Jesus if he were to be put to death. But Pilate examined Jesus and found no fault in him worthy of death. Still, the people demanded that he be killed. Now, there was another prisoner before Pilate, Barabbas, who had committed murder. And it was the custom of the time to release one prisoner at the feast of the Passover, whoever the people desired. So, mindful of this, Pilate offered to release Jesus. But the people cried, "Release Barabbas! Crucify Jesus!" And Pilate, bending to the will of the people, washed his hands of the whole matter and gave Jesus to be crucified. Then they mocked Jesus and placed a crown of thorns on his head and led him to a place called Calvary, where they nailed him to a cross between two criminals who were crucified with him. And Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." It was the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, stood at the foot of the cross and saw him die.
Gildy will be back in just a moment. May we earnestly suggest that you attend church this Easter Sunday. Everyone needs the comfort and inspiration of religious faith, for it is faith which helps hold our families together, builds moral and spiritual character. And today, perhaps more than ever before, there's a need to turn to a way of life based on the enduring principles of religion. There are a great many programs of religious nature on NBC Radio, which you'll enjoy hearing this Sunday. Among them, The Art of Living, the National Radio Pulpit, Eternal Light, the Lutheran Hour, the Catholic Hour, and the Hour of Decision, conducted by Billy Graham. These are but a few of the broadcasts that will bring you inspiration and comfort not only this Sunday, but on the Sundays to come. Of course, the Easter message will be the highlight event this week. We know you'll enjoy hearing them as a supplement to your visit to the church of your choice. And when you do go to church this Sunday, take the whole family with you.
But, Doc, there's more to the story of Easter. I mean, the crucifixion's not the end.
No, you're right, my boy. You're certainly right. The true story of Easter is the resurrection. And I'd like to read it to you as St. Mark tells it in his Gospel. When the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, and Salome had bought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, "Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre?" And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. And entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment. And they were affrighted. And he saith unto them, Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. But go your way. Tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him, as he said unto you.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production, produced and directed by Virgil Reimer. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast were Walter Tetley, Amanda Randolph, Olin Soule, Ralph Reed, Carolyn Jean Hill, and Dick LeGrand. Now, this is Don Rickles inviting you to listen again next week to another new adventure of The Great Gildersleeve.
For music, variety, and fun, hear The Bill Goodman Show, followed by 2 hours of drama in the afternoon, every weekday on most of these NBC stations.